Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
It's only been 3 days since Donald Trump was inaugurated, and already DEI is about to DIE a very quick death, not just at the federal level, but at the state level as well. UW-Madison's chief diversity officer is out following an investigation into the potential misuse of funds. As one of my sources put it, it's always the ones you most expect. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Dan O'Donnell Show. A major update to a story we broke yesterday. In just a second, coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, yet another exclusive story. A little boy struck and injured, and the suspect has a criminal record longer than my arm, my leg, and one of Paul's arms. We'll get to that in the 4 o'clock hour. In the 5 o'clock hour, it's Wednesday. We play America's favorite game show, Guess What's Racist? Plenty of stuff to pick from over the last couple of days since Trump was inaugurated. But as we always do, we begin the show with a chance for you to win $1,000. It's the cold, hard cash contest. The word this hour is bank, B-A-N-K, bank. You've got until 55 past the hour to go to our website, enter the keyword bank to enter the contest for this hour. If your entry is picked at random, you will win $1,000 in cash instantly. If your entry is picked at random, you will win $1,000. Chances to play 3, 4, and 5 o'clock. And as always, we try to make this talk radio's most interactive show. 414-799-1130 is our adventknows.com talk and text line. You can reach us toll free, 1-800-838-9476. Email me, dod@iheartmedia.com. The Dan O'Cam is up and running. We are streaming on X at Dan O'Donnell Show, at Dan O'Donnell Show on Facebook, too. We are also streaming there. And our YouTube channel, please do also subscribe to our show. Just search for Dan O'Donnell Show on iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to podcasts. Now, when I say I like to make us the most interactive show possible, I like to also showcase the creativity of our dear listeners. It turns out that the contents of President Biden's letter that he left behind to President Trump were released today. We now know what it was Biden said to Trump on the way out. What I want to know from you, ladies and gentlemen, is what do you think Biden might have said from Trump? To Trump. Funniest answers will be read on the air. Shoot us a text on the adventknows.com talk and text line, 414-799-1130. Major update to a story we broke for you yesterday about a meteorologist in Milwaukee, CBS 58's Sam Cuffle, who posted on her Instagram page the misinformation story about Elon Musk making a Nazi salute. I don't think I need to play the audio yet again, but it has been well documented he was not making a Nazi salute during the inauguration, but rather saying, "My heart goes out to you," grabbing his heart and then making a gesture like he was throwing his heart into the audience. It was abundantly clear, but Cuffle, like every other lib who posted about this or who did stories about this, left out that very important context. She wrote on her Instagram page, "Dude Nazi saluted twice during the inauguration. You bleep with this and this man. I don't bleep with you, full stop." Now, if you didn't get what Sam Cuffle thought about Elon Musk, she then posted a GIF from the TV show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where one of the characters goes, "Screw that old B, he's a Nazi." CBS 58 has apparently fired Sam Kuffel today. The story from the Journal-Sentinel's Dan Bice posted literally 11 minutes ago at jsonline.com. A Milwaukee TV weather forecaster has been dropped by her station one day after she criticized Elon Musk on social media for his straight arm gesture that many have likened to a Nazi salute. Staffers at WDJT-TV, Channel 58, were alerted by email on Wednesday that meteorologist Sam Kuffel had left the station. Her biography and picture had been removed from Channel 58's website by Wednesday afternoon. Meteorologist Sam Kuffel is no longer employed at CBS 58, said the staff memo obtained by the Journal-Sentinel. A search for a replacement is underway. On Tuesday, conservative radio host Dan O'Donnell sharply criticized Kuffel for her Instagram posts, accusing her of spreading the lie that Elon Musk was giving a Nazi salute during the presidential inauguration. He labeled her posts as vulgar. Kuffel, 31, could not be reached by email, text, or phone on Wednesday. Interesting. Bice was also unable, it seems, to get a comment from CBS 58. So I guess I don't feel so bad that they just sort of blew me off, but clearly they took my concerns seriously. Bice actually reached out to me to see if I had any comment on this story. I told him I didn't. Look, I just reported on this. Number of people sent it to me. It is obviously newsworthy that someone in the position that Kuffel had until apparently today would talk like this. And also, let's face it, if CBS 58 wants to take itself seriously as a news organization, then it probably shouldn't allow members of its news or even weather staff to spread misinformation. That's what this is. That's the context of what Elon Musk said makes it abundantly clear. If this was AOC or Biden or Elizabeth Warren making the same gesture, I would like to think I would be at least fair and say, okay, guys, from the context of what she was saying, it was awkward, it was weird, but she wasn't making a Nazi salute. Libs don't think like that. They don't behave like that. They either don't get presented with the correct information or they ignore it to dishonestly make a point and to slander their political opponents as Nazis, as terrible people. Now, I don't want to get too much into Dan Bice's head, but to me, the purpose of emailing me, do you have a comment, is do I feel bad about getting Sam Kuffel fired? To which I responded, look, I have no comment, but you should reach out to CBS 58. They fired her. I didn't. I just reported on what happened. And I think some context is being left out here. Someone doesn't just get fired for something like this. Even though it was inappropriate, it was juvenile, and it was something that she shouldn't have posted, the normal reaction, and I've been in this business for a long, long time, longer than I would care to admit. I think I'm coming up on 24 years in July. Nearly a quarter century in this business, well over half of my life, my entire adult life was spent in the broadcasting business. So believe me when I tell you, I know the things you can do to get fired and the things you can do that will get you yelled at, but definitely not fired. Posting something like that will get you yelled at, but definitely not fired, unless there were other incidents. And with this particular weathercaster, there were. She made national news when she got into some sort of Twitter beef with Erin Andrews, of all people. Now, how could you possibly get into some sort of Twitter beef with Erin Andrews? Well, she did. As reported by MSN.com, drama can happen at any moment during an NFL game. Sometimes it's a controversial call. Other times it's a tie-breaking Hail Mary. But one drama during a game between the Detroit Lions and Green Bay Packers didn't involve players. It involved two news personalities. And it should be noted that this was from a while back. Erin Andrews was reporting from the sidelines at Lambeau Field during the game, and this took place first weekend in November. I believe it was November 1st or November 2nd. We just got an alert. There's a high wind gust warning within the next hour, 45 minutes, she said, expecting gusts up to 43 miles per hour. So we've got the wind, we've got the rain, we've got the grass, we've got the NFC North, baby. But Andrews' reporting was met with criticism online from meteorologist Sam Kuffel. Kuffel works for CBS 58, an affiliate in Milwaukee, quote, begging Erin Andrews to stop making up weather alerts, Kuffel said on X. Stuff like this makes me irrationally angry. Though that post was deleted, Andrews was made aware of it and fired back. Just saw the story about your tweet. Let me know the best way to touch base. Wanted to show you where Fox Security, who is working the game, and I got our weather alert for the Packers game. Thanks. Andrews stuck with her guns on a subsequent episode of her podcast, which she co-hosts along with fellow sports writer and sportscaster Carissa Thompson. She talked about conditions during the game, saying the rain is just coming in slanted, where I have my earpiece in. I took it out once. There's water inside, and I'm like, am I going to have swimmer's ear because I'm pushing water in my ear canal? I can tell you, I don't know if there was a weather alert or anything like that, but I was actually in Green Bay for that game. I was with a big group of people. They do an annual thing. It's one of the gold package games. So there's a bus, and a bunch of friends went up. We decided not to go into the game because of the weather just being as terrible as it was. So I was watching from the friendly confines of some giant bar near Lambeau Field. I can tell you, friend, that was one of the most miserable game experiences I've ever had. So there was this national kerfluffle with Sam Kuffel, and that wasn't her first. I think she should possibly go by Sam Kerfluffle because this has been her MO. About a year ago, also on her Instagram page, she apparently took a trip to Japan and made a post, I can walk at night without fear of being mugged. Japan sure is great, or something to that effect. I don't actually have the post in front of me. She made all of her social media private. Here it is. She writes, Japan is awesome in so many ways, but one of the best parts is being able to walk anywhere alone as a woman and feel safe. People then responded to her, and she said, didn't expect so many racist replies to this. Good Lord. That, again, made her go viral for, I think, the wrong reasons. When that sort of stuff happens, and that was July 3rd, there's a second national incident on November 2nd. I believe she was probably told, hey, just cool it with the social media. Would you? Could you limit your social media usage to just predicting the weather or making cute jokes about how cold it is or something like that? And your employer, as a public figure, is well within their right to request that. Well, saying, I don't bleep with Elon because he made a Nazi salute when he didn't make a Nazi salute, after you're caught essentially making up the fact that Erin Andrews lied about there being some sort of weather alert, her use of social media became a problem. But inasmuch as I was maybe the straw that broke the camel's back with her career at CBS 58, it probably wasn't. Except for the fact that I posted the story on X as well. And from there, a number of other users reposted the post and expressed their displeasure with it, tagging at CBS 58 along with their responses. This was a very visible sign to the station that Sam Kuffel was alienating a whole lot of viewers. It's remarkable that just since November 5th, both local and national TV stations and networks have woken up to the fact that, hey, it turns out Republicans actually consume our products as well. And maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't spend all of our time calling them all Nazis. There has clearly been a cultural shift. And I've been talking about it pretty much since November 5th. It wasn't just that Trump won, it's that he won the popular vote, and he won demographics and improved his standing among demographics that nobody thought he possibly could. This has made a whole lot of people in the media and on the left, and in the media and on the left, rethink their positions. Should we really be resistance figures who spend all of our time convincing people that Trump will end life on this planet as we know it? Or should we meet our viewers where they are? Clearly, more than half of people in this country agree with Donald Trump. In fact, a whole lot of the things that he's doing via executive action over the past couple of days are things that roughly 75 to 80% of people agree with. That tiny minority is not going to get you ratings, especially when the product that you have, television news, is one that primarily conservatives consume. Just look at the ratings of Fox, also Newsmax, growing like crazy over the last couple of years. And people who you're pandering to or had been pandering to over the past 8 years are tuning you out. This, to me, was a calculated business decision and also a disciplinary decision. It had nothing to do with me pointing out the fact that Sam Kuffel was being foul-mouthed and very, very wrong about Elon Musk. It had everything to do with CBS just not wanting to deal with the trouble anymore. And I'll explain a big reason why that is happening coming up next right here on The Dan O'Donnell Show.
Classical conservatism.
Contemporary style.
This is The Dan O'Donnell Show.
You've likely heard about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free too, with their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. An easy, affordable way to see how it could literally change your life. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally, developed by doctors. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily. It helps reduce or eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. Trying it couldn't be easier with their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call. 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, every day you feel better is a day you live better. Try Relief Factor's 3-week quick start today. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell here for the Lynch family of dealerships. Cruise on into the new year with a new or used ride from Lynch. It may be 0 degrees outside, but the bright side is Lynch has 0% financing available to approved credit on select models. With over 1,200 vehicles in stock and brands like Chevy, GMC, Buick, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford, plus an unrivaled inventory of fresh trade-in vehicles, now is the time to go to shoplynch.com and pick out your new set of wheels for a fresh new start to 2025. Plus, Lynch has up to $10,000 in rebates available on select models. The Lynch family of dealerships is revving up the savings in January. And with locations in Burlington, Kenosha, West Bend, and 3 stores in Mukwonago, the team at Lynch is there to help you. It's easy to see why I choose Lynch, and I think you should too. Visit shoplynch.com today. That's shoplynch.com.
Tune in every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. as Ellenbecker Investment Group highlights local people and organizations who are using their time and their talents to give back to make a difference in our community. Milwaukee's philanthropic community. Visit ellenbecker.com to learn more.
I'm Kelly Lammert from Clean Living Environments. Virtually everyone who cleans ducts repairs and sells air conditioners, furnaces, water heaters, or whatever. Duct cleaning is secondary. Clean Living Environments, partners for your comfort and health and your economy. Our superior agitation, high-power suction gets more of everything you don't want in ducts out than suction alone can. We're happy with a fair day's pay for a fair day's work. We charge less for superior duct cleaning. Once ducts are Clean Living Environments clean, our ducts-only technicians can seal them. Neighboring states give $500 energy bill credits for existing homeowners who have ducts sealed because sealing saves natural gas waste forever, helping heated or cooled air get where it's supposed to be. If you've been quoted for duct cleaning, I personally guarantee Clean Living Environments will get more out of your ducts, charging less. With natural gas prices skyrocketing upward, Clean Living Environments AeroSeal duct cleaning is a prudent, long-term home budget saver. Get more out of your ducts, cleanlivingenvironments.com. That's cleanlivingenvironments.com.
I'm Total Health's Jay Johnson, the Falls and New Berlin. Remember looking forward to playing with your kids or grandkids and having the energy to? At Total Health, we hear it all the time. People say I'm too tired and worn out to be the person my spouse married or parent or grandparent my family deserves. Sound familiar? Total Health naturopaths find root causes of fatigue and lethargy, then treat you, the whole person, restoring energy and overall wellness. It could be dietary or thyroid function, or maybe you just need to drop some weight. Big Medicine's weight loss injection causing stomach, gallbladder, intestinal, and vascular problems works for them. Sick people are profitable. If excess weight is a contributing factor to you not feeling your best, Total Health naturopaths will never judge you. We'll be honest, providing the tools and motivation to lose weight. Then we'll be with you throughout your journey to feeling happy, healthier, energetic, and well. Be that person your family deserves. It's not theory. Relativity equals expertise plus execution. TotalHealthInc.com. That's TotalHealthInc.com.
For safe, purified water right from your faucet, the solution is crystal clear.
Any project, big or small, when it comes to water, one call does it all. S&K, pump and plumbing.
All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the Annex Wealth Management Studios. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
No radio handy?
No problem. Listen to WISN's live audio stream 24/7 via the web. Just click on the Listen Online tab at newstalk1130.com.
I just want to see the light. 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 I just want to see the light.
Helping you see the light of conservatism, it is the Dan O'Donnell Show. Welcome back to it. We apparently have confirmation of what President Biden wrote President Trump. It's a relatively recent tradition that the outgoing president leaves a note in the desk for the incoming president. I'm asking you, what do you think was in that note? Some of these replies are hysterical. From our listeners, texting in on the adventknows.com talk and text line at 414-799-1130. Don't tell anyone, Don, but Jill and I voted for you. Here's another. You didn't happen to find a check from Burisma in another desk drawer, did you? You were right. We totally stole the 2020 election. Doug in Kendall, Wisconsin, Biden wrote, "Hey, can you teach me that YMCA dance?" And my personal favorite, what was in that letter? "Help me, please. Jill made me stay in office against my will. I'm scared. You don't know what she's capable of. Oh, God, she's coming in. I gotta go. Just please send help." Ladies and gentlemen, these are our listeners. One of the big reasons, I believe, that CBS 58 let go of a meteorologist who yesterday, or rather Inauguration Day, made the faulty comparison between Elon Musk and Adolf Hitler, saying Musk, during the presidential inauguration, made a Nazi salute when he actually was saying, "My heart goes out to you." Was it a weird, awkward gesture? Yes. Was it a Nazi salute? Of course not. She also was very foul-mouthed in doing so. CBS 58 management let her go. This is significant because just a couple of years ago, this story surfacing on talk radio, i.e. my show, would have allowed them to just ignore it. It wouldn't have gotten any traction on social media. Come on. Left-wing weather reporter makes a comparison to Elon Musk giving a Nazi salute. In fact, the story that Musk was actually giving a Nazi salute would have been allowed to spread. It wouldn't have been debunked because X and now Facebook following suit, dedicating itself to a restoration of free speech on its platform, wouldn't have allowed the truth to get out. Now it is. That's a fundamental change. I used to talk, and still do, about the talk radio ghetto. When a story emerges from talk radio, the rest of the media, the newspapers, television stations, they think they can kind of keep it in the ghetto. They can segregate it from the rest of polite society because, well, it's only those people who are going to consume the story, and they don't need to worry about their readers or their viewers catching on to it. They control the narrative, you see. They control what information their viewers and their readers consume. That doesn't exist anymore. That's a model that is dead. They relied for a long time on social media like Twitter and like Facebook particularly to help them do their bidding. That doesn't happen anymore. And the left is freaking out about it. On this morning's Morning Joe program, Mika Brzezinski and Tommy Vietor, who is now one of the Pod Bros. He co-hosts the biggest liberal podcast in America, Pod Save America. He's a former Obama staffer along with his co-hosts. They were openly fretting about the fact that liberals no longer dominate social media because they simply censor any narrative that goes against their own.
What is it that breaks through all of this, you know what, that is happening, where and to that voter that I told you guys about, who likes Trump but is going to probably not benefit at all from his policies.
I think the hardest part of getting to that voter is not what we say, but reaching that voter. And I think part of it is volume. If you look at Donald Trump's inaugural day, he did 3 inauguration speeches. The real one, the overflow, the rally at night, then a press conference, right? It was a reality show. Yeah. And when you are playing a volume game, you need rep after rep after rep to make sure it gets clipped on TikTok. It gets shared on X. And the algorithms are killing us right now. Like Elon Musk is skewing everything towards the Republican Party, so we need to try even harder.
Wait a second. If Elon is skewing everything towards Republicans, something that is now freely admitted on the Morning Joe show, would that mean that for so many years the algorithms were skewed towards Democrats? No way. Hey, libs, does this sound familiar? If you don't like X, why don't you go and build your own X? Elon owns X. He can run his platform however he wants. Why don't you just go build your own? Why don't you leave X? They've tried. Heaven knows they've tried. Blue Sky is the latest one, and my favorite had to be the Chinese obvious spy app that popped up and every single left-winger was flocking to when TikTok was shut down for about 13 hours and people were losing their ever-loving minds. The reality is that the algorithm is not skewed. Democrats are just used to being able to censor any speech that they don't like. Free speech terrifies them because when people hear all sides of an argument, when people hear all sides of a story, they have a remarkable tendency to disagree with Democrats. The death of DEI in Madison and Washington, D.C. That story coming up next.
It's the Mark Belling Football Preview Podcast. Mike Millett of American Sports Analyst and I preview the football weekend and give you point spread picks with a special focus on the Packers and Badgers. My producer Paul and an audience contestant make their picks too. A weekend football preview from a betting perspective. My weekly football preview and picking contest is a podcast too. The Mark Belling Football Preview Podcast drops every Thursday evening at 6:30. Available all weekend.
All I'm doing is driving to have a meeting with my mom and dad. That's all.
About our finances?
Look, I'm already very late.
Jerry, remember a ceremony a year ago? I dressed in white and you in black?
I know you're my wife, but my mom said to me, you and what's her name?
She doesn't even remember my frightening.
Should bank at the bank next to my apartment, she said.
These days, the bank for us is First American.
Gotta go or Mom's gonna worry.
First American has products that make us smart savers and smart borrowers.
See, Mom made tapioca pudding for me.
First American CDs offer some of the highest rates.
But my mom says...
Your wife says we may even need a loan soon. And First American's fixed-rate home equity loan is a smart way to borrow.
Yeah, but Mom says that
we can get the money and...
Okay. Well, check out First American Bank. Now, who can that be? Mom.
When you didn't show up, I got worried. Here's your tapioca. Dad's parking the car. Who's this?
Mom, it's my wife, Carol.
Oh, yeah, we met you at the wedding. Hi, dear.
First American Bank, the bank that does more for your money. Visit us online at firstambank.com or call us at 262-577-2400. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you across the greater Milwaukee area. Start your repair right now at mandercollision.com. Mander truly is the best decision after a collision.
If you're a woman looking to take control of your financial future, you are not alone. Women are leading the way in business and managing household finances, but challenges still exist. That's why NX Wealth Management presents the Women in Wealth series every third Thursday. It'll empower you with knowledge and resources to succeed. Join us for collaborative discussions, community building, and learn about key areas of financial planning. Women in Wealth events are free every third Thursday. Sign up at annexwealth.com/events and bring a friend.
Hi, I'm Willa Voss. I'm 8 years old. Mom and Dad own Cut and Go Tree Service. Yes, they did name me after a tree. Our family loves this country and the freedom it provides. Every morning, I look forward to starting the school day with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please say it along with me, even if you just say it in your mind. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. American patriots will enjoy a 5% discount for flying the American flag and mentioning this commercial when the Cut and Go remote control, automobile mounted, articulated crane, grapple saw operators are putting your dead trees on the ground or removing large branches that grew over something important. An all-American Tons of Trees movement. CutandGoTrees.com. That's CutandGoTrees.com.
107,471. Is that A, the number of minutes spent listening to your kids describe their favorite YouTuber's latest video? B, the combined number of calories you consume during football season? Or C, the number of households left without power during one of the last big winter storms? While A and B may be true, the real answer is C. But this winter, that 6-digit number can be reduced by 1 with your brand new whole house Generac generator from Mr. Holland's Home Services. We hardwire your new generator directly into your home's electrical system. Lights stay glowing, Wi-Fi goes on flowing, and your furnace keeps it going. All thanks to your new whole house Generac generator from Mr. Holland's Home Services. Oh, did I mention payments for as low as $99 a month? Call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. Ready to power through another winter? We can help.
As long as Engine and Transmission Exchange exists, I will never take my vehicles anywhere else. That's part of a review from customer Jordan, who says they do great, trustworthy work every time, and I never feel like I'm getting taken. That has certainly been my experience and that of my family. In the time I've been endorsing them, ETE has become a family thing. Numerous family members now take their cars to Engine and Transmission Exchange, and we become loyal customers because Vince and his team really do give you that respect and loyalty back. WISN listeners talk as if they're doctors you turn to when you want a second opinion. Honest, timely, they saved me money, kept me informed. These are the things I hear over and over again from WISN listeners who found ETE. They'll accurately diagnose your problem and will always work to save you money while doing the repair right. There are 2 ETE locations, West Avenue in Waukesha and on South 27th in Milwaukee. They'll go out of their way to work around your schedule. They have clean, bright waiting areas, and they're good people. See EngineTrans.com for details. EngineTrans.com. It's Engine and Transmission Exchange. EngineTrans.com.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. If you drive drunk, you will be pulled over and you will be arrested. You cannot talk your way out of a DUI, but you can keep your mouth shut for your best defense. Call my team of award-winning former state prosecutors. You are only guilty if you are convicted. GrieveLaw.com.
Have you made your favorite station a preset on our new and improved iHeartRadio app?
Wait, what?
What about your favorite podcast?
You could do that?
Yeah, you really can.
Whatever you choose, it's as easy as a tap to make a preset. And with the all-new live radio dial, it's easier than ever to discover new stations you'll love, plus the new trending section and the lyrics to all your favorite songs.
Love the new look of the iHeartRadio app, guys.
It's everything you love about your car radio in the palm of your hand. Find out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
Classical conservatism, contemporary style. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show. What was in the letter that President Biden left for President Trump? Our listeners have some suggestions. Dear Don, for some reason my staff said I had to write you a letter, and I'm going to write until they leave me alone, and they left. See ya, Joe. Donald, hey man, good luck with, the thing. And finally, dear President Bush, congratulations on your victory over Vice President J.D. Pence in the 2014 election. As your incoming chief of staff, I look forward to directing the DEI agents at the border to continue drilling for oil. Happy birthday, the big guy. If you would like to hear your jokes read on air, what did Biden say to Trump in that letter? I will read the real one later on in the show, but shoot us a text, 414-799-1130. That is our adventknows.com talk and text line. President Trump, in his inaugural address, said his administration was committed to ending DEI.
I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
You would think that this would not be at all controversial, but the executive orders that he enacted certainly were. First, all DEI staff in the federal government have until 5 o'clock today. That's 17 minutes from right now. 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central Time to clear out their desks. They are gonzo. First, they're being put on paid administrative leave, and then their positions, when DOGE is able to get up and running, will be eliminated. President Trump also reversed President Lyndon Johnson's affirmative action executive order from the 1960s. No longer will it be the policy of the United States government to have affirmative action in hiring. In other words, as President Trump said, hiring will be merit-based. In Madison, too, DEI is imploding. UW-Madison's Vice Chancellor for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion removed from his position today after an internal review found, quote, concerns about financial operations and fiscal judgments. LeVar Charleston has led the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement for 3 years. He'll leave his role as Vice Chancellor and return to his backup appointment as Clinical Professor in the Department of Educational Leadership and Policy Analysis in the School of Education. Now, the details of exactly what Charleston allegedly did with the money under his purview, not especially forthcoming. He was named Vice Chancellor for Inclusive Excellence in August of 2024, and the Chancellor of the school, Jennifer Mnuchin, said his deep understanding of the challenges we face and exceptional leadership skills would help him play an even more expansive role in guiding our efforts to build a more connected and inclusive campus community. Turns out he may have been siphoning funds that the university gave him to advance DEI. Now, I don't know whether that was the case, but clearly something was going on that first precipitated an internal review, and then, after that review was completed, resulted in him no longer being the DEI chief. Now, this is not LeVar Charleston's first bit of controversy. Both he and his wife, who is the DEI chief at Harvard University, her name is Sherry Charleston, both of them in late January of last year were accused of plagiarizing a whole lot of their curriculum vitae. You might remember that the president of Harvard, as well as a number of top university officials, went down in a big scandal over their refusal to condemn calls for genocide by pro-Hamas students, saying Israel should be wiped off the map and things like that. They refused to say, hey, is calling for the death of an entire people, is that bad? Well, you'll see, it's a very nuanced argument. Oh, okay. Let's see those same people. Was there any room for nuance when Elon Musk was allegedly making a Nazi salute, or did we automatically assume he was making a Nazi salute? But Sherry Charleston came under fire along with Claudine Gay, her former boss, the former president of Harvard, who was removed from her position, but interestingly enough, not fired, just like with LeVar Charleston. Do you know the reason why? They are terrified that they're going to hire Benjamin Crump, who apparently takes every single DEI and police brutality lawsuit in the world now, and they're going to make a giant deal out of it, and they're going to have to settle for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, because Benjamin Crump and all of his supporters will blast the university as being racist for daring to fire a guy who plagiarized pretty much everything he's ever written and may have been misappropriating funds from the DEI division. But it is interesting that both he and his wife have the exact same position, and both were found to have committed the exact same very serious academic crime. And that's what it is. It's not a crime, but in the world of academia, plagiarizing someone else's work, especially to the extent that both Sherry and LeVar Charleston did, and Sherry used to work at UW-Madison. She was very recently hired to go out to Harvard University. No word on the status of their marriage. Hopefully they'll have a nice Valentine's Day. Hopefully LeVar doesn't plagiarize the sonnet that he writes in her Valentine's Day card. You know, it's a long-distance relationship. It's very difficult. It's a lot of texts back and forth. Hopefully Sherry doesn't plagiarize the love texts that she sends to LeVar, but I wouldn't put it past her, quite frankly. What exactly do you have to do to get fired by the University of Wisconsin-Madison? Seriously. This guy plagiarized something that would result in easily a failing grade for a student and possibly suspension or expulsion from the school. That's how seriously universities at least used to take plagiarism, and probably still take plagiarism when it comes from students and not professors or DEI executives, especially those who have a skin color that makes it very, very difficult for them to be fired without worry about a civil rights lawsuit being lodged against them. He clearly plagiarized. There's no question. I don't have time to read you all of the passages. It is extensive. And they found something in this investigation that said, you are no longer able to lead the department where we gave you a whole lot of money to do DEI things because you were doing decidedly non-DEI things with that money. Do I need to remind you that the very founders of Black Lives Matter, one of them at least, Patrisse Cullors, bought 3 mansions in Los Angeles with money that was donated to her Black Lives Matter organization. 2 of those mansions, unfortunately, burned down. See, that's why she bought 3. She had foresight. This is financial planning when you're a scammer. You got to use the donations to buy 3 homes in case 2 of them burn to the ground. Depending on the severity of the allegations against Charleston, I believe he needs to be fired. I also believe that UW-Madison needs to immediately release the findings from this investigation. If they don't, I'm just going to file an open records request anyway to get it. So stay tuned, because we'll find out exactly what this guy was doing one way or another.
Traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Southbound 4145 stall on the right shoulder at Watertown Plank with delays from Appleton to Burleigh. 13 from Good Hope to the Zoo. 43 southbound about a minute more. Slow from Highland to the Marquette, and you got a stall on the ramp to westbound 94. If you see any issues, call the Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank total traffic tip line 414-944-5111.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. Gather your crew of just 15 or more for a Brewers group outing and trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field. Featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event easy, as they'll be your concierge while you book your event. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when joined today. You in? We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Picture taking your first steps into your brand new home. What do you see? Whether it's cooking meals in your 5-star kitchen or practicing downward dog in your sunroom, Belinsky Homes can handle it all. At Belinsky Homes, we know each lifestyle calls for unique home essentials. That's why we've been designing distinct and deliberate floor plans for over 60 years. Considering every last inch of space, we build new homes ready to adapt to your life's needs. Visit Belinsky.com today to find your right fit. Belinsky Homes, built for life.
Jake suffered with carpal tunnel syndrome.
Tingling numbness in my hands and fingers, not sleeping well at night, tossing and turning, trying to manage with pain pills and stretching, and it just wasn't helping.
He didn't want the traditional invasive carpal tunnel surgery.
I had seen people with bandages and scars and clubs for hands. I just don't have time to be incapable of doing things for 6 to 8 to 10 weeks.
Then he learned about the Ovation Hand Institute and the Ovation Technique, an ultra minimally invasive procedure done in the office.
I wanted to get it looked at sooner than later. So I had the virtual consult. It was very thorough as far as like I was sitting in a doctor's office. I was booked for the procedure 2 weeks later. Had my right hand done. Very quick procedure. It was really great. That very night when I went home, it was the first time in probably 3 months my hand did not wake me up.
Book an appointment with the Ovation Hand Institute and find out if you're a candidate for the Ovation Technique.
Probably the most surprising thing was how quickly I was able to do things again. I'm cooking dinner. I'm doing yard work and all that kind of stuff the next day.
Visit ovationhand.com. ovationhand.com.
I'm Dan Small. Join me and Jeff Kelm for Outdoors Radio, Saturday mornings at 6 on News Talk 1130 WISN. Brought to you by the Range of Richfield, the ultimate shooting experience on Helson Drive in Richfield and online at therangewi.com.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semper Fi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
In today's Marketers Report, Erica Taylor, Chief Marketing Officer of Genentech, weighs in on audio's ability to reach any audience.
Everyone is listening somewhere, somehow. So it's a great way to take something very precise in what we're trying to do to reach patients with something that I think we can all agree is somewhat broad in reaching many, many different audiences.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Smart speakers get a whole lot smarter when they're playing News Talk 1130 WISN. Just ask Alexa or Siri to play WISN Radio and bask in the glow of insight and enlightenment.
After the top of the hour, kind of a remarkable story about someone who absolutely should not have been out on the roads, but was. And a 6-year-old boy was run over, escaping serious injury in November only because his older brother appears to have been a hero, pulls him out from underneath the car. The number of DUIs, the number of times this guy has been busted for messing with his ignition interlock device, and the sheer number of breaks that he has gotten by the criminal justice system for a criminal career that dates back to well before online records were available, even in 2000. Meaning this guy has been committing crimes for pretty much his entire adult life without, it seems, any real serious consequence. He was on the streets and very nearly killed an innocent little boy. We'll get to that story coming up after the top of the hour. Right now, though, it's time to name the unhinged liberal of the day.
Trump is Hitler.
We are in pre-Nazi Germany.
All white people are racist.
Trump is dangerous because he's evil.
America is over.
Back in my day, we used to call this sort of behavior an insurrection. Activists took over the Minnesota state capitol in order to protest, of course, LBGTQ plus minus ampersand question mark exclamation point legislation from the new Republican legislature. The unhinged liberal of the day is this they, them, who looks exactly like you would think, hair color not found in nature, about 45 pounds overweight, megaphone, foul-mouthed, and screaming.
Whose house is this? Whose house is this? You chicken meatball-headed motherfucker. Whose house is this? Whose house is this? Whose house is this? Yeah, go ahead and kick me out. It'll be on every fucking news organization in the country. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm done with it. Get your good glamour shots there, motherfucker. I remember the shit that you said on the fucking floor. I remember the shit that you said, misgendering Lee Finke, lying about us. Go fuck yourself.
He seems like a nice fellow. That is your unhinged liberal of the day.
News that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good afternoon. I'm Dave Michaels. A new poll out finds many Americans support stronger border security and some targeted deportations. At a press conference this morning, Milwaukee Alderwoman Jocasta Zamaripa, who represents the predominantly Hispanic south side of the city of Milwaukee, shared advice on what to do if approached by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Continue to feel confident to reach out to your first responders without fear of any collaboration with ICE. Please call 911 for any emergencies.
Meanwhile, the state of Wisconsin has joined a multi-state lawsuit against President Trump's attempt to curtail birthright citizenship.
Democratic Attorney General Josh Kaul and Governor Tony Evers said that the executive order is unconstitutional and that citizenship by birth is enshrined in the U.S. Constitution. Wisconsin, along with 19 other states, want to invalidate the order. President Trump and his supporters say birthright citizenship is being used by immigrants to illegally get a foothold in the United States. Raymond Newport, Wisconsin Radio Network.
The 4 o'clock business report brought to you by the Good Feet store. The Dow up today 130 points. The NASDAQ gained to 252 while the S&P rose 37. Checking the Holiday Automotive Final Act Sports Scoreboard, tonight's Bucks-Pelicans game has been postponed due to the snow in New Orleans. A makeup date will be announced at a later time. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, WISN News Center, I'm Dave Michaels on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Here's the latest forecast presented by AdventKnows.com from the Fox 6 weather experts.
Snow showers are possible throughout the evening. Watch for slippery spots, then drying out overnight with lows in the teens. Sunny on Thursday with a high around 20, then gradually climbing into the 30s on Saturday, staying dry through the weekend. I'm Fox 6 meteorologist Stephanie Barrichello.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Tap into your well-being with Audible audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Expand your life with expert insight and motivation for better health, habits, relationships, finance, and more. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
You've likely heard about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free too, with their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. An easy, affordable way to see how it could literally change your life. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily. It helps reduce or eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. Trying it couldn't be easier with their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call. 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, every day you feel better is a day you live better. Try Relief Factor's 3-week quick start today. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Hello?
Mr. Hoban?
Yes?
Hi, this is Amy from First American Bank. I got your message that you called, and I'm calling you right back.
Okay, I'll hold.
Oh, I'm not putting you on hold.
I'll just finish my tuna fish sandwich here and stay on hold until you get back to me.
No, Mr. Hoban.
Can you make it before the end of the day, though? I have a gentle yoga class at 7.
Mr. Hoban, are you new to First American Bank?
Yeah, I figured you got to be better than the big bank I was at. But I'm ready to hold now.
Mr. Hoban, I'm not putting you on hold.
What?
First American Bank is built on superb customer service. Huh. So besides offering the best loan deals in town, cash management service, and more, if we can't take your call right away, we call you back as soon as possible. First American Bank thinks of it as treating our customers like family. You treat your family with consideration and respect, right?
Can you put me on hold while I think about that?
Mr. Hoban.
First American Bank, the bank that does more for your money. Visit firstambank.com or call us at 262-577-2400. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, it's Rob Radisky here, a veteran designer at Wisconsin Kitchen Mart, and we're inviting you to come take a look at the fully built kitchens and baths in our sprawling 18,000 square foot showroom. It's truly one of a kind, and while showcasing the special attention to detail we put into our work as designers, this enormous showroom gives you the opportunity to envision real possibilities for your home. For almost 75 years, the dedicated team at Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has created kitchen and bathroom remodels that have set us apart as the best. We create kitchens that balance style and efficiency. The same goes for bathrooms too. See the full displays in our 18,000 square foot showroom. With our wide selection of flooring, Play-Doh custom cabinetry, appliances, and countertops, you'll get everything you need in one spot. For a free consult and more info, visit wisconsinkitchenmart.com or visit our showroom to see for yourself. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart.
You live with teeth in need of substantial restoration long enough. Even teeth in need of substantial restoration can be restored in one visit with Ross Dental CEREC Restoration Mill, New Berlin and Waukesha. Smile like you just don't care, because you don't. RossDentalWI.com.
Bring in the new year at your local Milwaukee Metro Region Cunis Auto Group dealerships. If it's the new year, it's time for a new ride. So plan on driving into 2025 in style at a Cunis Auto Group dealership near you. Your Milwaukee Metro Region Cunis dealerships feature America's best-selling brands from both Buick and GMC, all at nearby locations in Oak Creek and Greenfield. During January, every remaining new 2024 vehicle plus thousands of select pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs are all being discount priced to sell. We've got to make immediate room for hundreds of incoming new 2025s, as well as hundreds of fresh trade-ins from the holiday season. We're paying top values on all trades, no matter what the mileage or condition. Don't forget to check out individual dealership websites for pre-owned vehicles super specials. Plus, January service specials on everything from oil changes, tires, and brakes. Ring in big New Year savings at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Cunis Auto Group dealerships, or shop online at shopcunis.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you across the greater Milwaukee area. Start your repair right now at mandercollision.com. Mander truly is the best decision after a collision.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
The golden age of America begins right now.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
Some of these responses to our challenge to you to come up with the funniest thing that you think President Biden wrote in his letter that was left behind in the Resolute desk to President Trump. Some of the best that I've gotten over the last couple of commercial breaks. Was I the president? Like the actual president? Here's another one along those same lines. Beware, Don. Someone has turned the White House and the Rose Garden into a twisted maze. Navigating my way in and out of the White House with all of its crazy twists and turns has become a baffling ordeal. Here's another one he left behind. 1 gallon whole milk, 2 pounds prunes, 1 pint chocolate Ensure, 12-count Angel Soft toilet paper, ibuprofen, and Hunter's Afrin. If you think you can do better than that, text us 414-799-1130. That is the adventknows.com talk and text line. You can reach us toll free 1-800-838-9476. Email me dod@iheartmedia.com, at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, Facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show. We are streaming live on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, and we are available in podcast form as well. All you need to do is to search for The Dan O'Donnell Show on iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to podcasts. And frankly, I would be your best friend forever if you followed, liked, subscribed on every single podcaster there is, especially the iHeartRadio app. If you do so, I'll give you a chance to win $1,000. Well, contractually, I have to do so, even if you don't do anything for me. It's the Cold Hard Cash Contest. The word this hour is indeed cash. C-A-S-H, cash. You have got until 55 past this hour to go to our website and enter the keyword cash. If your entry is picked at random, you win $1,000. We had a winner last week, Friday. No winners yesterday. Come on, we need to get off the schneid. We need us a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little distracted. I got an email that just came in. And frankly, I think in the next segment, this email, I caught out of the corner of my eye a couple of swear words, had to do with the meteorologist who was fired today after we reported on her vulgar Facebook posts. I saw the swear words, and I think we have a contender for the most intelligent thing that Dan has heard today. The best response, we like to class up this joint a little bit, so listen for that in a couple of minutes. Paul, don't let me forget about this. I don't want this lost in the flood of emails I get. I need to mark this one because this is true genius. It appears to have been, I don't know how this gentleman was able to get out such excellence while mashing the keyboard with his fists, but he did so, and you will hear the most intelligent response Dan has gotten today coming up next here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. Coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, we will play America's favorite game show, Guess What's Racist. Much more fun still to come. Later this hour, the unsung hero of the day, someone who has earned my eternal support for saying something that we all know to be totally true, but something that up until, November 5th or so was highly controversial to say. Won't want to miss that. In November, and I am going to not use any names here, nor am I going to use the community in which this was taking place, because this is an ongoing case, and it speaks volumes about where we are, even in a supposedly safe community and county like Waukesha County, where we supposedly have a fully functioning criminal justice system that doesn't engage in the catch and release, non-criminalization, decriminalization of crime that we have in Dane and Milwaukee counties. 6-year-old boy in November struck and injured by a driver who wasn't paying attention. The boy was apparently getting on a school bus. The lights were on, the stop sign was on. This driver, fortunately, did not appear to be going at a very high rate of speed. The 6-year-old was injured, but not seriously. His older brother apparently acted very quickly to pull him out before the vehicle went over him completely. So he's under the vehicle, and his brother, who really should be the unsung hero of the day, but I've got to do this story right now. So, little guy, trust that you are actually my real hero of the day for saving your brother's life from a man who we will learn is a true piece of garbage, who had no business being out of jail and certainly no business being behind the wheel. There is an investigation for the driver failing to install an ignition interlock device. Not only will he potentially be charged with negligent operation of a motor vehicle causing injury, but he was also supposed to have an ignition interlock device. I believe most people know that an ignition interlock device is something that you're required to install in your car after a certain number of DUIs, that you have to essentially pass a breathalyzer just to start your car up. Well, this guy has had multiple DUIs, and he, from the looks of it, has been a career criminal for his entire adult life. I say appears to because records only go back on wcca.wicourts.gov, the Circuit Court Access page, commonly known as CCAP. Online records only go back to 2000. This suspect was born in 1957. Who starts committing crimes at age 43? I'm 43 right now, and I'm about to pass out from pure exhaustion from doing a body pump class this morning. I don't think I have the energy in me to do crimes. The suspect's name is William Melcher. In 2000, he was sentenced to 9 months in jail, but had that sentence stayed for maintaining a drug trafficking place. He instead got 2 years of probation. He manages to keep his beak clean, so to speak, until 2011. when he gets his third OWI. Now, at this point, he's 54 years old, so clearly he's been drinking and driving for a long time. Generally speaking, one doesn't just wake up at age 50 and say, you know what, I'm going to get hammered and start driving as much as possible. And because the first two are not, his DUIs are not in the online page, it, I can safely assume, is back in his past during the days before all of our records were digitized. He's sentenced to 330 days in jail with Huber release privileges. His driver's license is revoked for 3 years, that's 36 months, and he's required to put in an ignition interlock device. Within 3 years, he's arrested for bail jumping. Guess why? He just keeps driving. Guess why? Because he's tampered with his ignition interlock device. Lo and behold, the following year, nothing is done to him, by the way. What's remarkable to me is that no matter how many times, and there are a bunch, that William Melcher either removes or tampers with his ignition interlock device, not one time is he ever punished for it. So my question is, what in the name of all things good and holy is the point of having an ignition interlock device if there is no punishment whatsoever, even in Waukesha County, for removing the damn thing? August 15th, 2016, he gets his fourth OWI within 5 years. He is also charged with 2 counts of bail jumping. Why? Because he was operating while revoked. Why was he able to operate? Because he had tampered with the ignition interlock. He gets a very tough prison sentence, 5 years. 2 years, 6 months behind bars, 2 years, 6 months extended supervision. Oh, wait. No, he doesn't. That sentence is immediately stayed, and for his fourth OWI, he gets a year in jail. Now, you might remember that he got 330 days in jail for his third OWI. So for the fourth OWI, after multiple bail jumping charges, after multiple messing with the ignition interlock device, after multiple operating while revoked, he gets a grand total of an exactly 35 days tacked on to the 330. He gets a year. But only the first 4 months are straight time. The second 4 months, non-working hours, he gets Huber release privileges. Once again, 36 months revocation, 36 months ignition interlock. Guess what happens within 3 years? You bet, operating while revoked. Guess what happens 2 years after that? Ignition interlock device tampering, failure to install, violating a court order. Guess what happens with that? It's dismissed because he's also charged and pleads guilty to operating while revoked. Would you believe this keeps on happening for years? Within, I would say, 2 years, another 5 times. February 26th, 2021. October 13th, 2021. January 27th, 2022. March 15th, 2022. April 5th, 2022. December 18th, 2024. And finally, January 10th, 2025. All of these are charges for the exact same things. Operating after revocation, ignition interlock device, either failing to install it or tampering with it or removing it, and bail jumping. In the middle of this, he's charged, or at least he will be charged, as my source indicates, with striking a 6-year-old boy as he's attempting to get on a school bus. William Melcher did not face a single penalty, save for a couple of days in jail in lieu of paying court costs and a menial fine for failing to put in the ignition interlock. We hear, what is that commercial? Is that Grieve? Is that my buddy Tom Grieve? You'll have to install an ignition interlock device. It protects the public and shames you with your friends and family. Well, it sure as hell didn't for William Melcher, because he just didn't install it. And guess what? The Waukesha County court system and pretty much every judge therein let him do it. Do we just not look at how many times this guy has done this? The whole point of the device, the whole point of not having a driver's license is specifically so he cannot be behind the wheel and in a position to do exactly what he did in November, to victimize an innocent little kid who's just trying to get on the bus and might be dead if not for the heroic, quick-thinking actions of another little boy who is undoubtedly also going to be traumatized, his older brother who saved his life. Quite frankly, I am tired, beyond tired of doing the same damned story year after year, and especially in Waukesha County. On the same day, maybe a day later, that we get news that, what's his name, the Waukesha Parade Massacre suspect, I don't really care about his name. It's piece of human garbage for all I care. Yes, I know it's Brooks. What did you say? It's Daryl Brooks. You got the first name wrong. Did you say Derek or Daryl? You mumbled Daryl. On the same day, he's transferred to an out-of-state prison because he happened to be out because, again, the Waukesha County criminal justice system didn't seem to want to act like a criminal justice system and instead was just giving a slap on the wrist, slap on the wrist, slap on the wrist. Are we going to be serious about cracking down on drunk drivers, especially those who repeatedly victimize people and also who make it abundantly clear that they are never going to comply? How many bail jumping cases does one have to accumulate in a short amount of time before we say, okay, you're just going to go to jail? Okay, we are going to impose the 5 years that we initially put on you. Remember, when those sentences are stayed, when 2 years, 6 months in prison is stayed, it is usually stayed on the condition that the person who had the sentence stayed, the defendant, keeps his nose clean, keeps out of trouble, doesn't repeatedly damage the ignition interlock device so he can keep on getting blasted and driving. Why do you think he is repeatedly busting up the ignition interlock? It's so he can keep drunk driving. At what point do we have to say this guy, to protect every other 6-year-old boy within a 1,000-mile radius of this a-hole, at what point do we have to say society is safer with him behind bars? He is not able to function in society. Maybe we lock him up for 5 years and get him into an alcohol treatment program, which he very desperately needs. You know, I am just so tired in Milwaukee County. At least I can understand it, because these are moronic libs who, frankly, probably don't know any better. Oh, duh, he's turning his life around. With the 11th time he damages the ignition interlock device, maybe we should give him another chance. This is Waukesha County. You've got a Waukesha County judge right now who I love and respect and think will be a great, and I mean great, state Supreme Court justice in Brad Schimmel. I thought the Chief Justice, the Chief Judge of the Waukesha County Circuit Court, Jennifer Doro, would have been a great state Supreme Court justice. But by God, if she continues to preside over this happy horse, you know what, I gotta change my assumptions here. Again, you want me to name the judges who did this? Name a judge in Waukesha County, and they refuse to do anything. Schimmel included. He's in here too. Lloyd Carter was on here. Let's see. Who can I find? We got, Ralphie Ramirez. Of course, Ralph Ramirez is giving this guy a break. I expect it from him. But my God. And we have every single one of them. We've got a non-partisan election coming up in spring. And if there is there's a Waukesha County judicial race, actually, believe it or not. There is a conservative who is an Evers appointee. Go figure on that one. At some point, I'm going to talk about that race extensively. And they're all going to talk about how they're so tough on crime. What the hell are you going to do? What the hell did you do about William Melcher? Why is William Melcher out there victimizing a 6-year-old kid? I live in Waukesha County. Why is William Melcher out there? My 17-year-old drives around. What happens if he has the misfortune of running into William Melcher after cocktail hour? I got a 10-year-old daughter. When she gets on the school bus outside of Grammy's house, am I going to have to worry about William Melcher? I moved to Waukesha County years ago, more than a decade ago, specifically so I don't have to put up with the William Melchers of the world. And specifically because I thought I was moving into a county where the William Melchers of the world were put in prison where they belong, where it is determined that the 10th time that you commit a crime, that you broadcast your intent and broadcast the fact that you keep on drunk driving, no matter how many times we arrest you, no matter how many times you get a break. I thought that moving out of Milwaukee County might change that, but apparently not. I'm going to go take my blood pressure medication, and we will be right back. Stay tuned.
Talk Radio
Redefined.
Dan O'Donnell will be right back.
Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Eastbound on 94 in Waukesha County, jammed Highway 164 to Barker. Crash blocks the left lane at Highway F. Slowing again from 68th to 25th with a stall on the right shoulder. Westbound jam from 16th to Hawley. If you see any issues, call the Tri-City National Bank. Your hometown bank total traffic tip line, 414-944-5111. I'm Kevin Henry.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Shop limited time deals during Lowe's Pro Savings Days. Get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Valid 1/13 through 1/24 while supplies last.
The recent wildfires that ravaged Los Angeles now account for one of the largest disasters in the history of our country. Now, iHeartRadio is bringing you an historic fundraising event.
The Fire Aid Benefit Concert.
Live in Los Angeles.
Donate today at fireaidla.org.
Join us January 30th.
Listen live to the Hit Nation station on the free iHeartRadio app, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern.
And show your support for the people in need in Los Angeles.
In a recent study, over 1/3 of millionaires predicted their ability to feel financially secure in retirement is going to take a miracle. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe a plan, not a miracle, will help increase your retirement confidence. Our team of experts gets to work using leading-edge technology to build comprehensive plans covering investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. And Annex doesn't have products to push with hidden fees or commissions. There's too much of that already. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. More planning, fewer miracles. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Hi, it's Jason from Capital Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. And I've never told you why Capital does same-day repair 7 days a week. Years ago, in the dead of winter, the heat failed in an apartment building I was responsible for. So I called a big local heating company who promised to help, but never showed up. After a million calls, I mustered the know-how and fixed it myself. That's when I decided Milwaukee deserves a company that cares. And that's why we offer same-day repair 7 days a week. Visit callcapitalcares.com because Capital cares.
Next Tuesday, you'll go to your business. You'll stand there in your office and make decisions. I think when you make decisions, it might be well for you to ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is it easier for your business to buy things you need to increase profitability than it was 4 years ago? Does your business have more or less unemployment? Is your business as respected as it was? Do you feel your business is on as secure financial grounds as it was 4 years ago? And if you answer all those questions, yes, why then, I think your choice is very obvious as to who handles your brand and marketing. If you don't think the marketing course is what you would like to see your business follow for the next 4, then I could suggest another choice that you have.
And it is improving the economy one business at a time.
creativegeniusmarketing.com, I'mADishWeb.com.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you across the greater Milwaukee area. Start your repair right now at mandercollision.com. Mander truly is the best decision after a collision.
With nearly 50 years of experience, my dad, Jim Mullally, has taught my cousin Mark everything he knows. In fact, he bestowed so much expertise onto Mark that Mark went to New York to compete against the top furniture finishers in the country. And you know what? He won. So if you're looking for the finest in furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com. The bulk of our business is in wood furniture restoration. We found that there are a lot of folks out there with antique furniture and heirloom pieces that are in good shape, but just need to be brought back to life again. Well, that's our specialty. And right here in Mequon, you'll find one of the country's top furniture finishers. So if you want only the finest in furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. We're no job's too small. Serving everywhere. Quality counts.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. If you drive drunk, you will be pulled over and you will be arrested. You cannot talk your way out of a DUI, but you can keep your mouth shut for your best defense. Call my team of award-winning former state prosecutors. You are only guilty if you are convicted. GrieveLaw.com.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules. All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the NX Wealth Management Studios. NX Wealth Management. Know the difference.
So I am told by one of my loyal listeners watching via the Dan O'Cam on our YouTube channel, he or she, I don't know, it just goes by the handle, I believe it's JG Grinder. So JG tells me that Reddit is not happy with me right now. The Milwaukee subreddit is very angry with me right now because of my perceived role in getting CBS 58 meteorologist Sam Cuffle fired. Now, if I were a Redditor on the Milwaukee subreddit, frankly, I think I'd be a lot madder that I've never kissed a girl. But hey, that's just me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time now for what I believe to be one of those virginal Redditors emailing me. It is the most intelligent thing that Dan has heard today. This in response to my reporting about meteorologist Sam Cuffle. Now, for those of you who might be watching the show or listening for the first time, you have crawled out of mom's basement. Maybe you hear her listening on her Amazon Echo before you scream at her that she hasn't yet cut off the crusts to your PB&J. Here's how we do the most intelligent response Dan has heard today. You see, we are a very classy show. We like to keep things highbrow. So, since this is so intelligent, I feel the need to read it in an erudite British thespian accent. This email sent to me from someone who, of course, doesn't use their real name, only P. McCormick, spelled M-C-C-O-R-M-A-C-K. Here's what they write. Sam Cuffle is vulgar? Danny, you look like a lace curtain P-word who licked more A-word than my wire terrier. Danny, I'm questioning your manhood if you even know what that means. Try red lipstick when you look in the mirror tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the most intelligent and least homophobic, coming from what I presume to be a lefty, response that Dan has heard today. You can fade down the music, Paul, although I suspect we will have more intelligent responses. In fact, I was just going through my YouTube feed. I was just looking at the DanoCam stream. And I'm not saying that the left is emotionally stunted and intellectually bankrupt. But one dude just repeatedly typed in the word Nazi about 24 times. Should we bring back the music? This is this guy on my YouTube feed. This is the sum total of the Milwaukee subreddit's leftist intelligence. Here we go. This is from 10 minutes ago on my YouTube stream. Nazi, 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 Nazi. I have way too much fun with this stuff. Folks, if you enjoy the most intelligent response Dan has heard today, Dan needs some help with that. I was recording a commercial today, and the sales rep for our good friends at, you know what, I'm not even going to bring in the name of the sponsor, because I guarantee that the smooth-brained netizens over at the subreddit of Milwaukee on Reddit will target them. He said, yeah, boy, Dan, I don't know how you deal with all of the insane remarks that you get on social media. And I said, well, you know, I turn it into a funny little bit. He said, boy, yeah, but they were talking about your, shall we say, private area. And I said, well, now I got to get back on X to see what the heck they're saying. I couldn't find but what I need your help with is, folks, I can't see every response that I get on X. If you happen to see something that is so vulgar and so stupid that you want it highlighted and read in a British accent to class it up, please do let me know about it. Email me, dod@iheartmedia.com. Hey, speaking of left-wing meltdowns, just in a couple of minutes ago, the House has followed the Senate in passing the Laken-Riley Act, a crackdown on illegal immigration, and Rashida Tlaib on the floor of the House before the vote went bananas.
It will separate families. It would lead again to continued discrimination. It's shameful that my colleagues are giving in to racist fear-mongering at the first opportunity to pass legislation to scapegoat our immigrant neighbors and fuel hate in our communities. I know what's going to happen. It won't just be undocumented. It'll be people like my mother who will get stopped and profiled. She have to carry her U.S. passport around? Are we asking people now to have documentation? That's what you want to turn our neighborhoods into, is militarization?
I yield the gentlelady an additional 30 seconds. The gentlelady is recognized.
I just ask all of you to truly understand what this will do to our communities.
Wait. Did Rashida Tlaib just say her mom is an illegal? Can we possibly deport Rashida Tlaib's mom? I mean, I don't know anything about the woman, but the meltdown on the floor of the House would make it worth it. By the way, lest you think that Trump wouldn't be able to do anything on illegal immigration. Oh, right, is he going to build the wall? Yeah, well, you're going to remain in Mexico? You're not going to do anything. Biden couldn't do it. It's my actual impression of liberals. Actually, there's a lot more in my impression of liberals. I just imagine all of them as they furrow their brows in a desperate attempt at comprehension of rational thought, that they involuntarily make the noise before they open their mouths. Lest you think that there isn't a difference between commanders-in-chief, Tom Homan, America's new border czar, was on Fox News this afternoon to outline the number of border apprehensions. Since Trump was inaugurated, we used to average roughly, it was about 11,000 some per day for 4 consecutive years. For the first 2 days of the Trump administration, that number got down to about 300 something.
The greatest president in my lifetime, he's back. Because in 2 days, the last 24 hours, total apprehensions on the southwest border, 766. Compare that to the 10 to 12,000 Biden had at one time. CBP-1 releases, 0. CHNV, Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela releases, 0. Total of 766 across the entire southwest border. That is a game changer.
And it's almost as though conservative policies on the border work. This is the Dan O'Donnell Show.
Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
From the Lynch Buick GMC of West Bend Total Traffic Center, got heavy delays in Waukesha County 94 eastbound Highway 164 over to US 18 with a crash in the left lane. Jammed southbound on 43 from Locust to the Marquette and on to 4394 in pockets to the KK River. If you see any issues, call the tip line 414-944-5111.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
When winter's frosty grip squeezes out all the joy of the season, that's when to heat things up by playing the nationwide Cold Hard Cash Contest on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Win some cash.
9 times each weekday. Listen for the keyword to enter at newstalk1130.com, and you could win the hourly prize of $1,000.
The Cold Hard Cash Contest is presented by Tap In Golf Bar, offering Metro Milwaukee's premier indoor golf simulator experience, locations in Waukesha and Sussex. TapInGolfBar.com.
Sun, 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 fun, 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 sun, sun, sun.
Boaters, this is your show, the Milwaukee Boat Show at State Fair Park. Over 300 boats, family runabouts, ski and surf boats, luxury pontoons, more Lake Michigan boats than ever. Tierra, Beneteau, Pursuit, Cruisers, Sea Ray, Boston Whaler, and more. Get that boat and get that deal. See Twiggy the water skiing squirrel the second weekend. Check MilwaukeeBoatShow.com, January 17 through 26, closed Monday and Tuesday.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast, local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Get 50% off all windows, plus no interest or payments for 2 years. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
I love you.
Really?
Will you be my Valentine?
Wow.
I'm smitten with employee-free showrooms.
Oh, you're professing your affection for Hassleus Mattress.
I'm head over heels.
Our employee-free showrooms save you so much money.
My heart's all aflutter.
Through Monday, Hassleus Mattress will give you an additional $248 in instant savings on any Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, or Serta Perfect Sleeper.
You complete me.
Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hassleus.com.
I'm Dr. Jennifer Grieve at Reset Restore MD IV Ketamine Therapy Centers. IV ketamine is superior to ketamine lozenges. If you suffer with depression, anxiety, or PTSD, listen to real R&R MD patient feedback.
My treatments helped greatly reduce and eliminate my chronic back pain.
I've tried many therapies for depression, and this has been the most impactful. The environment is relaxing, and the staff are incredibly kind.
Amazing, life-changing, wonderful. Dr. Jennifer changed my life for the better with ketamine infusions.
R&R MD helped me deal with anxiety and be more calm with hectic things going on. Years of talk therapy can't do what this did in a few sessions.
Intravenous ketamine infusions take about an hour at our Brookfield or Mequon R&R MD locations. Relief can continue for weeks, months, even a lifetime. R&R for Relief, Reset Restore MD, rnrmd.com. That's rnrmd.com.
I'm Victor Harding, a true trial attorney at Warshevsky Law. You've heard our advertising for years. While it's been effective introducing Warshevsky to injured people in need of maximum judgments and settlements, most of our clients come from personal referral. Referrals from former clients grateful for the settlement or trial judgment Warshevsky won on their behalf. Thus, they're recommending us to friends and family. Referrals from people in the community, including other lawyers and judges who want to make sure their friends and family are taken care of. Still not sure? Ask around. Warshevsky is referred by Wisconsin law enforcement officers who've seen Warshevsky attorneys in action, desperate to make sure friends and family receive just compensation. Insurance adjusters, often our adversaries, refer their family members hurt in accidents. They know the work we do. They all refer Warshevsky because, big case or small, we can help. If someone you love is injured, please let them know, because at the end of their ordeal, their injury is about the money. Warshevsky.com.
You live with teeth in need of substantial restoration long enough. Even teeth in need of substantial restoration can be restored in one visit with Ross Dental Ceric Restoration Mill, New Berlin and Waukesha. Smile like you just don't care, because you don't. RossDentalWI.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hey you guys, I'm Catherine Legg. I'm a racing driver who's literally driven everything with four wheels across the planet. And I've got a new podcast. It's called Throttle Therapy. This season, I'm gearing up to make history, competing in some of the world's most notorious racing events. Listen to Throttle Therapy with Catherine Legg on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Throttle Therapy with Catherine Legg and start listening.
Presented by Elf Beauty, founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports.
These Reddit crazies are... I'd say they need to get laid, but that's the whole reason they're Reddit crazies is because, well, you know what, I'm gonna stop. One guy actually did go so far as to post pictures of my children that I had posted on Twitter and say, why do you post Nazi apologist bleep on the same website you post photos of your wife and kids? Now, normally I don't do this, but because this is not identifying information, the Twitter handle is @It'sActually Ted. He is in Los Angeles, California. He joined in April of 2009. If anyone knows who he is, I do consider this to be threatening behavior. Please do let me know privately, as I will be alerting the proper authorities. So, also, he's mad at me because I reported on somebody and within 24 hours they were fired. What does he think would happen if he posts pictures of my family threateningly? Let's lighten the mood a little bit. How about somebody else making fun of lefties? Today's hero of the day is the leader of Canada's Conservative Party and a front-runner to be the country's next prime minister following the resignation of Justin Trudeau. He is Pierre Poilievre, and he was on a news broadcast today on, I believe it was Canada's national network, but I'm not actually sure. And, well, he put a leftist news anchor right in their place.
President Trump signed an executive order, the U.S. government only recognizing two genders, male, female. They're unchangeable. If elected as prime minister, is that something that you're going to kind of walk in line with, or what are your feelings on that executive order?
Well, I don't know. Do you have any other genders that you'd like to name?
Me personally? Yes. I'm just asking more so if you're in line with what he is saying. Do you agree with what he's saying? Is that something that you would be lockstep with if elected as prime minister?
Well, I'm not aware of any other genders than men and women. I mean, if you have any other that you want me to consider, you're welcome to tell me right now.
Well, there's personally, I am a man. As people who say cis man. There are people there who, they say they're gender neutral. Well. You are a man. Yes. There are people there who say they're gender neutral. Yeah, they say they're gender neutral. They're a trans person. Is that something that you would recognize here, whereas in the States, at least with their U.S. government, the way they're seeing it, there's only two?
I'm only aware of two, but I mean, if you come up with another list, then you're welcome to do that. But I'm aware of two, and as far as I'm concerned, we should have a government that just minds its own damn business and leaves people alone.
Oh my goodness, that was the most entertaining 90 seconds I think I have heard all week. Pierre Poilievre, your unsung hero of the day. We've got an update on our Twitter tough guy. It's actually Ted. He has made his posts protected because I think he realized kind of crossing over into threatening behavior. Too late, brah. Screen caps are forever. So, anybody knows who he is, please, DOD@iHeartMedia.com. Proper authorities will be contacted immediately. Coming up after the top of the hour news, we will get into some of Trump's executive actions as well as, did you know Governor Evers is going to issue a big speech tonight? Did you know it's the state of the state tonight? Yeah, I didn't either, to be honest with you. I cover this for a living. I totally forgot the state of the state was tonight. I guess we'll talk about that. Stay tuned.
Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Northbound on 43, slowing from Highland up to Center. Got southbound delays starting at Burleigh, continuing in pockets down to the Marquette. On to 4394, you're tight to Oklahoma Ave. If you see any issues, call the Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank total traffic tip line at 414-944-5111. I'm Kevin Henry.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Tom Nichols with Meisner, Tierney, Fisher & Nichols.
In business partnerships, attitudes and outlooks can change. And before long, you can find yourself in a situation in which your partnership is no longer working. Dissolving it is difficult and involves a number of legal considerations, such as corporate, tax, labor, accounting, and sometimes even defamation law. Our firm's Adam Tutai is an excellent choice to handle situations like this. Not only is he extremely well-versed in these areas, he also has a unique capacity to constructively deal with a wide variety of personalities. High integrity and earned respect have been hallmarks of our firm for quite some time. We've been representing businesses here in Wisconsin for over 170 years. If your business partnership is no longer working, consider our help and an attorney who in my 40 years is one of the brightest I've known.
Good clients deserve good lawyers. Meisner, Tierney, Fisher & Nichols. MTFN.com.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Family owned, family operated, family values. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. Gather your crew of just 15 or more for a Brewers group outing and trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field. Featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event easy, as they'll be your concierge while you book your event. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
Hi, it's Jason from Capital Heating,
cooling, plumbing, and electric. And I've never told you why Capital does same-day repair 7 days a week. Years ago, in the dead of winter, the heat failed in an apartment building I was responsible for. So I called a big local heating company who promised to help, but never showed up. After a million calls, I mustered the know-how and fixed it myself. That's when I decided Milwaukee deserves a company that cares. And that's why we offer same-day repair 7 days a week. Visit callcapitalcares.com because Capital cares.
They take care of my truck like it's their own. That's part of David's 5-star review of Engine and Transmission Exchange, and it might be one of the best ways to say it. David says, I'm a big fan of ETE. The employees make me feel welcome and provide information that's easy to understand. Customer Jeremy agrees, saying, great friendly service, and they took the extra step to keep me well informed. I definitely won't hesitate to take my vehicle there again. The irony is, if you take your car to Vince and his team at ETE, you'll be taking it in less often. You can find them at enginetrans.com. They'll even do an online diagnosis for you right off of that website if you ask. It's amazing how often these guys can tell you what's wrong with your car just by a description of the problem. They're that good because they've got so much experience fixing all makes and all models of vehicles. Engine and Transmission Exchange has locations on South 27th in Milwaukee and on West Avenue in Waukesha, and has ASC certified technicians in every field of auto repair. It's a place you can absolutely trust with your car or truck. See enginetrans.com for details. Enginetrans.com. It's Engine and Transmission Exchange.
Grow your business regulation compliant and efficiently. InSource, the benefits companies. Connect and simplify.com.
Grow your business. Hire iNet for increased new business with creative genius inspired web, radio, design, all marketing. CreativeGeniusMarketing.com.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Wisconsin. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Today, I was going to, folks, put together a complete list of all of Trump's executive actions through the first nearly 3 full days of his administration. The day got away with me writing a column for the MacIver Institute. I had to do a hit on Newsmax, record spots, just one of those things. So listen tomorrow. We are going to have the complete rundown of pretty much every single thing that President Trump has done so far. Wow, what do you know? Already got an email. That guy who was threatening my family. Already got him identified. That is remarkable how quickly this works. Man, I'd hate to be the guy who just posted the map to our studio. Wonder how quick we could identify him. See, this is fun. My point is that I think a lot of people, there has been so much that's been done in the last 72 hours that it's easy to forget just all the stuff that has been done. And we had the soundbite from the border czar, Tom Homan, a segment or two ago, saying that border crossings are now down to 766 in the past 2 days, after averaging between 10 and 12,000, spiking to occasionally 30,000 people per day when massive caravans were coming in. What he was talking about, CBP-1, non-enforcement actions. The Biden administration actually put together an app where people could apply for asylum on their cell phones, and then they would just show up and say, hey, grant my asylum claim. There's a new sheriff in town, thank heavens. When we come back, Governor Evers gives his, I was only half kidding, by the way. I mistook. I did actually know that his state of the state was this week. As God is my witness, I thought it was tomorrow night. We will get into that. Plus, play America's favorite game show, Guess What's Racist? All coming up in the 5 o'clock hour.
News that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good afternoon. I'm Dave Michaels. Legislation that would allow candidates to remove themselves from the ballot in Wisconsin has now been proposed.
The Republican-authored bill would change state law to allow candidates running for federal or state office to take their name off Wisconsin ballots. The measure comes after the commission denied independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. his request to be struck from the ballot after suspending his campaign. Ted Allen, Wisconsin Radio Network.
2 men have now been charged in connection with the shooting of 2 teenagers on Christmas Day in Milwaukee. Fox 6's Carl Deffenbaugh.
18-year-olds Quintaras Morris and Jeremiah Taylor are now charged with 2 counts of first-degree reckless homicide. Prosecutors say Morris and Taylor shot and killed 15-year-old Exiel Rivera as well as 18-year-old Naya Vasquez on Christmas morning. This was near 37th and Scott. Milwaukee police say Morris is in custody, but they are still looking for Taylor.
And a driver that was fleeing police was seriously hurt last night after crashing into a home in Wauwatosa. West Dallas police attempted to stop that vehicle after it was reported stolen out of Milwaukee. The crash happened near 74th and Lloyd. Nobody inside that home was hurt. Checking the Holiday Automotive of Fond du Lac Sports Scoreboard, a massive winter storm in New Orleans has postponed tonight's Bucks-Pelicans game. That'll be made up at a later date. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, WISN News Center, I'm Dave Michaels on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Here's the latest forecast presented by AdventKnows.com from the Fox 6 weather experts.
Snow showers are possible throughout the evening. Watch for slippery spots, then drying out overnight with lows in the teens. Sunny on Thursday with a high around 20, then gradually climbing into the 30s on Saturday, staying dry through the weekend. I'm Fox 6 meteorologist Stephanie Barrichello.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Blindster is a family-run business that began in 2010, and we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters and received over 100,000 five-star reviews. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Welcome to This Week with Annex Wealth Management. I'm Dan O'Donnell alongside the CEO of Annex, Dave Spano. And this week, of course, a new president is inaugurated. A new administration takes over. That will mean new policies on trade, on markets, on taxation, on regulation. Heck, Dave, even on what we call the Gulf of Mexico. I kind of have to admit the Gulf of America has a pretty nice ring to it.
And as long as we can stay with that theme, why don't we rename it Lake Wisconsin, instead of Lake Michigan. And in fact, while we're at it, let's take the UP back as well. But that's exactly right. There's so much going on, Dan, that we're going to have to watch, and it's going to be a lot that's going to change. And for sure, at the top of that is going to be remain in Mexico, immigration plan. Certainly want to see what's going to happen with tax planning, deregulation, and the Federal Reserve. All of these are going to have a direct effect on the markets, on your pocketbook, how you plan going forward. And that really is a process of understanding where you are and where you want to be. So all of these facts and circumstances are going to change, Dan, over the next number of months. So let's stay with this. Let's stay on top of it. Make sure you know what you own, why you own it, how much you're paying for it, and exactly how to go through this process.
And the best way to do that is to head to annexwealth.com to get a review of your portfolio. It's called a wealth metric. It is absolutely free because no matter who it is that's in charge of tax policy, no matter who it is that's in charge of deregulating industries, it always comes down to how you're positioned to deal with the inevitable, and that is change in Washington, D.C., in Madison, Wisconsin, heck, somewhere in the middle of the Upper Peninsula of Wisconsin. There will always be change, and we will always be here to help you navigate it. For Dave Spano, CEO of Annex, I'm Dan O'Donnell. This has been This Week with Annex Wealth Management.
I'm Ryan Harrison, owner of Ryan Waterproofing.
If it seems rain hangs around your home coming down as insidiously delicate droplets, or in buckets, and if neither, rain tends to lurk suspiciously in the atmosphere around your house, you probably have a wet, mildewy, leaky basement with cracked walls. No basement wall or foundation repair is too big or small for Ryan Waterproofing. We won't be the most expensive. The larger the job, the more you'll save with Ryan. We've eliminated bowed walls, cracks, spalling, seepage, and flooding in Coast Guard stations, museums, and countless Wisconsin homes. Ryan's waterproofing experts show up on time and do exactly what we say we're going to do, eliminating your water problems, restoring your home, even ending your negative obsession with rain. Imagine looking out the window for rainbows rather than obsessing about your basement walls and floors next time, every time it rains. Free estimates, affordable financing. Because praying for drought is overrated. Ryan Waterproofing, call Ryan.com. That's call RION.com.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you across the greater Milwaukee area. Start your repair right now at mandercollision.com. Mander truly is the best decision after a collision.
Critical events drive critical times, and these are the times to learn critical lessons. Recent events should teach us that the struggle for liberty is ongoing, and forces that are misguided or sinister stand at the ready to take our liberties away. At News Talk 1130 WISN, we are dedicated to identifying the risks to our freedoms as they arise, and to alert you to those risks, valuing our liberties and our rights. This is News Talk 1130 WISN.
Coal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor. Call 262-522-4040.
News about you and your money. The business report from the Coal Investment Group.
Good afternoon. I'm Charter Financial Consultant Jeff Kowal with the closing business report. Stocks were higher again today as tech stocks rallied, while tariff worries were outweighed by President Trump's latest push to make the U.S. a leader in artificial intelligence with a $500 billion private sector investment plan. Meanwhile, shares of Johnson & Johnson fell nearly 3%, despite beating Wall Street's estimates for fourth quarter revenues and profits. Strong sales of cancer treatments and other acquisitions also drove revenues higher. At the close, the Dow was up 131, S&P 500 added 37 to 6,086, NASDAQ jumped 252. Round out your portfolio and review your retirement plan with us by scheduling an appointment. Call us at 262-522-4040.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
The golden age of America begins right now.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
5 o'clock hour starts now here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. Coming up in a couple of hours, Governor Tony Evers delivers his State of the State address. Now, in a couple of weeks, he's going to give the one that's more important, the budget address. Every 2 years here in Wisconsin, we have a fight over the budget. Well, at least we have, now that we've had divided government throughout the Evers era. Every single time, it pretty much goes the same way. Evers proposes a whole lot of nonsense. Republicans laugh, crumple it up, throw it in the dustbin, and then write their own budget. The budgeting process in Wisconsin involves an awful lot of policy. It is not just budgetary items, but the budget here, unlike a lot of other states, is used for a lot of policy. So the budget address in odd-numbered years, when the biennial budgets are created, are the big ones, but the State of the State address is always a pretty good one. President Trump has not yet scheduled his address before a joint session of Congress. Remember, it's not called a State of the Union address the first time the new president gives it, even though Trump has been president before. This is a new presidential term. It does not have the official title of State of the Union. It's called an address before a joint session of Congress. And President Trump likely to give that, I thought I had heard just kind of in passing, amongst people who know such things, probably somewhere around President's Day, right around mid-February, but that date has not been hammered down just yet. President Trump gave about 3 different addresses over the last 2 days, 4, if you count his inaugural address, and then he gave a speech to the overflow crowd. He gave a speech at the inaugural parade. He gave an impromptu press conference, and if you count that one, as he was signing executive actions on his first few hours in office, he answered reporters' questions, something we really didn't see from the Biden administration for rather obvious reasons. Biden just sort of spontaneously answering questions from reporters, and then Trump gave his first White House press conference with Sam Altman, who has been fighting all day with Elon Musk over the creation of Stargate. Altman is joining with Larry Ellison of Oracle as well as SoftBank to invest $500 billion in AI infrastructure technology. And Musk is not too pleased about that because obviously he has a significant investment in AI as well. He's been calling Sam Altman all manner of names, saying he's a con artist, a swindler, I believe was his word. So grab the popcorn, I guess, because the brains are fighting. Cold hard cash contest word this hour, grand, G-R-A-N-D, win a grand by entering the word grand on our website. That's newstalk1130.com, WIBA.com. If you're listening to us in Madison, if your entry is picked at random, you win $1,000 instantly. Our talk and text line, always open, 414-799-1130. It's presented by adventknows.com, 1-800-838-9476, where you can reach us toll free. Email me, dod@iheartmedia.com, at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show as well. So the State of the State address, Governor Evers has already announced his tour. I just got the email a second ago that's embargoed where he's going to go. It's traditional, just like the president after the State of the Union. The governor will go and give talks periodically. Would you believe that there is an area on which I think Republicans and Governor Evers can agree? No, I'm serious. And it is something of consequence. Evers has been remarkably pointed in his criticism of State Superintendent Jill Underly. Now, while the Department of Public Instruction, which Underly heads, is something that falls under the purview of Evers' executive branch here in Wisconsin, State Superintendent is an independently elected position. Underly is on the ballot coming up in, boy, oh boy, less than a month now. I believe the primary is, February 18th, right around there. Don't quote me on that. It's a Tuesday in February. I don't have my calendar in front of me, unfortunately, with 2 other candidates, none of whom are especially conservative. Brittany Kinzer is probably the one that is the, let's just say, the least crazy, the least far left. Evers refused to endorse Underly in the primary. She faces a challenge from another lefty, and she's probably easily going to beat him. But it's significant that Evers didn't immediately say, oh, yes, I endorse Jill Underly for a second term. And perhaps it's because of this issue that conservatives, Republicans, the state legislature can get with Governor Evers to reverse a truly awful decision by Underly's DPI. On the first day of the legislative session, Governor Evers held a press conference, weirdly enough, that he taped on the Friday before the Monday session on January 6th that was embargoed until that Monday. And the bit that got probably the most news coverage is the fact that he really broke with Underly on Underly's massive changes to the state's forward testing program. Forward testing is the standardized test that Wisconsin uses for K through 8th graders to measure their proficiency in science, math, English language arts, the basics. In high school, it's the pre-ACT, the ACT test. It's different testing. Underly took it upon herself to just sort of unilaterally change the standards by which forward testing is measured. For many years, the categories were advanced, proficient, basic, and below basic. Proficient means you're at grade level. Advanced means literally that. Your skills are beyond your grade level. Basic, you're about a grade level behind. Below basic, you are 2 grade levels behind. She changed those to advanced, which stays the same, meeting, as in meeting expectations, approaching, and developing. Now, this sounds like typical mealy-mouthed, politically correct liberalism, right? Instead of basic comprehension of skills, which is a grade level below, I would actually call basic below proficient and 2 grade levels below crisis level or something like that. But what is the fundamental difference between approaching and developing? It just looks better, right? The student is approaching proficiency. Well, it's a long approach because they're 2 grade levels away. If that was the only change, that wouldn't be benign, but it wouldn't be as egregious as what Underly also did. She made the standards much easier to attain, and then changed the numerical scoring. For example, in 3rd grade math, it goes from about 515 at the low end to 650 something on the high end. She changed it to between 1,400 and 1,550 or something like that. The point is that it's now impossible to compare one year to another. So it's impossible to tell if a student is doing better or, more importantly for DPI's purposes, if a school or school district is doing better. And wouldn't you know it, it is now much easier to get to the higher levels. To get to advanced, it's a lot easier than it was before the unilateral change in standards in August. It's a lot easier to get to proficient. Underly swears it's not true, but the numbers don't lie. The changes also take Wisconsin out of alignment with national standards, the National Assessment of Educational Progress. This means it's impossible now to compare Wisconsin students with students from any other state or the national average. Again, this is by design. What possible reason could there be to so dramatically change standards so you're not in line with national averages? And it would be one thing if you just changed the name. Okay, fine, we want to be a little more politically correct. Why change the numerical grading to something that is nowhere near what everyone else in the country uses unless you don't want people to see how badly Wisconsin students are doing? And let me tell you, Wisconsin test scores have been falling precipitously, and don't even try blaming the pandemic, or more accurately stated, government lefties shutting down schools for months and months and months when there was no need to during the pandemic. Test scores were falling even before March of 2020. We started to see the drop 2017, 2018, 2019 as compared with a decade before. Evers was not at all happy with that change. In fact, he said during his press conference, as quoted by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, "I hate to even talk about things that aren't my purview anymore in the Department of Public Instruction, but I just think there should have been some information and dialogue happening with all sorts of people before that decision. It's hard to compare year to year. If one year we're doing something completely different, I think it could have been handled better. The mistake was there wasn't enough conversation with stakeholders and parents ahead of time." This isn't, believe it or not, the first time that DPI has just unilaterally changed its standards. And it's not the first time that those changes were spearheaded by Jill Underly. In 2019, DPI changed the state report cards and faced much the same criticism. Hey, wait a second, it's now impossible to compare year over year, and wouldn't you know it, while she didn't change the names of proficient and basic and below basic, she made it easier to achieve a proficient. So far more schools and school districts, most notably Milwaukee Public Schools, received a passing grade, even though they got a score that a year earlier would have meant that they failed. You see how this works? In order to show that Jill Underly is doing such a bang-up job and her merry band of bureaucrats are just getting the most for the kids, instead of actually improving test scores, they're making it impossible for us to compare test scores with other states or even to students from years past. You know who loves this? Educational bureaucrats in failing schools and failing school districts like Milwaukee and Madison metropolitan schools, because, well, there's no one that can say, hey, 10 years ago, even by your horrible standards, kids were doing better on these standardized tests, because now comparisons are impossible. Comparisons are meaningless. In other words, there's no accountability. Now is the time, I believe, Republicans can find a compromise with Governor Evers and restore the old forward testing standards. And if they really want to go nuts, I would go as far back as to undo what DPI did in 2019 and change the grading on the DPI's annual school and district report cards back to the standards that were in place before Underly changed those. Robin Vos, the leader of the state assembly, Devin LeMahieu, the leader of the state senate, I do believe there is the opportunity to get together with Governor Evers and make something good happen. And Governor Evers, I think if he wants to show and maybe garner some goodwill with the leaders of the Republicans in the Senate and Assembly, this would be the issue on which to do it. And also, by the way, if, as I suspect, Evers secretly wants Underly to lose to the other liberal, whose name escapes me right now, in the state superintendent race, this would be a perfect way to do it, to issue a public rebuke and say just how bad and how corrupt this change in standards really was. More from what Evers is expected to touch on in the State of the State address. Then we play Guess What's Racist right here on the Dan O'Donnell Show.
Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
20 minutes westbound on 94 out to Moreland. Delays breaking after Hawley. 16 on southbound 4145. You're slow from Appleton down to Burleigh with a crash off to the left at Silver Spring. If you see any issues, call the Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Total traffic tip line at 414-944-5111. I'm Kevin Henry.
This report is sponsored by PureTalk.com. It's time to ditch big wireless. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on America's most dependable 5G network. Switch today. Just dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month with Pure Talk.
Next Tuesday, you'll go to your business. You'll stand there in your office and make decisions. I think when you make decisions, it might be well for you to ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is it easier for your business to buy things you need to increase profitability than it was 4 years ago? Does your business have more or less unemployment? Is your business as respected as it was? Do you feel your business is on as secure financial grounds as it was 4 years ago? And if you answer all those questions, yes, why then, I think your choice is very obvious as to who handles your brand and marketing. If you don't think the marketing course is what you would like to see your business follow for the next 4, then I could suggest another choice that you have.
INET is improving the economy one business at a time. CreativeGeniusMarketing.com, INET-Web.com.
We're the Libby family
At Do It Yourself Bathroom Center near State Fair on 62nd and Greenfield.
If your bathroom needs work, we're the place to go.
Our people really know their stuff, and we install.
Plus, nobody beats our prices. Remember our slogan,
I did it myself at Do It Yourself.
Thank you, WISN listeners, for trusting your car repairs to Engine and Transmission Exchange. ETE has 2 locations with A-plus ratings from the Better Business Bureau. One is on South 27th Street in Milwaukee, the other on West Avenue in Waukesha, and they work on any make or any model. See enginetrans.com for details. Engine and Transmission Exchange.
Hi, Scott Reamer from Reamer Remodel, Wisconsin's leading residential remodeler, specializing in kitchens, bathrooms, lower levels, and additions. Quality craftsmanship, fair pricing, and a dedicated project manager on every job, giving you the best overall experience. Communication, transparency, process, quality. To learn more, visit us online at reamerremodel.com. Tune in this Saturday at 3 when I'll be Paul Cromforth's guest on a special edition of the Remodeling Show. That's this Saturday at 3 on News Talk 1130.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
You've likely heard about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free too, with their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. An easy, affordable way to see how it could literally change your life. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally, developed by doctors. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily. It helps reduce or eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. Trying it couldn't be easier with their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call. 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, every day you feel better is a day you live better. Try Relief Factor's 3-week quick start today. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules. All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the NX Wealth Management Studios. NX Wealth Management. Know the difference.
If you're a fan of our Wisconsin sports teams, here's the perfect podcast for you. The Larrivee and LePage podcast with 2 Hall of Fame broadcasters. Wayne Larrivee, the voice of the Green Bay Packers, and Matt LePage, the voice of Wisconsin Badgers football and men's basketball. Together bringing you insights and guests talking Packers, Badgers, Brewers, Bucks, and more. Listen to the Larrivee and LePage podcast. Available anytime on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts. Presented by UW Credit Union. Here for every you.
Coming up in just a second, we play America's favorite game show. It's called Guess What's Racist. We really haven't been playing as much as we should. We try to do it every Wednesday at about 5:30 to have some fun here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. It's something I started in 2020 when I realized in the wake of the death of St. George the Pious, the patron saint of fentanyl abuse, a.k.a. George Floyd, the left, in its continuing quest to just demonize every single thing about American society, would just randomly declare things to be racist. It was a whole new genre in journalism that I could not stop laughing at. So I devised a game where we would have a contestant call in and I would give them 3 random things and they would have to pick which one was suddenly decried as racist. I thought, okay, we're going to have some fun. We'll play this for a couple of months, but eventually this new genre of journalism will die out, right? Wrong. We are nearly 5 years removed from the insanity of the George Floyd Summer of Love, and the media is still declaring random stuff to be racist. So, coming up in just a couple of minutes, we'll open up the phone lines. We will look for a contestant, and we will play Guess What's Racist. Right now, though, Governor Evers is expected to tout tax cuts, which, excuse me, I'm old enough to remember the last biennial budget when he was going to veto the whole thing. Then when he was asked, hey, Governor Evers, why are you taking credit for the tax cuts that Republicans put into this budget? He said, and I quote, well, I could have just vetoed the budget. So those tax cuts now become Evers tax cuts. This is the issue I have with the media. Molly Beck, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporter, just allows him to get away with this. These are the people who declare themselves to be the ultimate arbiters of truth. They even operate PolitiFact Wisconsin. Can we get a PolitiFact on who actually authored those tax cuts? Was it Evers or was it Republicans in the legislature whose budget Evers was threatening until he had an 11th hour conversion? And I guess this was technically the budget before the 2023 budget because he didn't dare to veto a budget with tax cuts in it right before he stood for re-election. Now there's not a person alive who believes that Evers is actually going to run for a third term. It's pretty obviously, I think the forces of liberalism are coalescing around Josh Kaul, Wisconsin's attorney general. I thought it was going to be Sarah Rodriguez, the young lieutenant governor. I thought she was put in there to be the heir apparent. Boy, she has been about as invisible as it gets. She is remarkably less visible. She has less of a profile in Madison than Tammy Baldwin does in Washington, D.C. She's like the Where's Waldo of the state capitol. I don't think I have heard a single thing Sarah Rodriguez has done. She's been in office 2 years now. And I don't think I can list I don't remember her giving a speech. Honest to goodness, I don't think from memory I could pick her out of a lineup. I don't remember what she looks like. That's how invisible she was. And I think that's by design because you saw, I'm not sure if we didn't have time to cover it, that Kaul has been about as visible as it gets. He just a couple of days ago, yesterday actually, it feels like we've lived about 5 days in the last 2 because there's been so much activity. Kaul announced that he is going to get Wisconsin as part of this theoretical lawsuit against Trump's 14th Amendment executive action. On this, I hate to admit it, I really do. Trump is wrong on the issue of birthright citizenship, even though no one contemplated for the first roughly 100 years or so that the 14th Amendment was a part of the U.S. Constitution, that it would apply to the children of illegal immigrants, because it just wasn't an issue when the amendment was ratified in 1865, 63 or 65. The dates run together on me. When it was first ratified, this just wasn't an issue, but the plain text of the amendment is very, very clear. Anyone who is born on American soil is an American. Now, some countries have birthright citizenship where the birthright is passed based on where you are born. For example, if my wife and I, and she's 9 months pregnant, we go to, the Sudan, and she gives birth, does my child become a Sudanese citizen immediately? Probably not. Most countries say, okay, well, if your parents are citizens, then you are a citizen regardless of where you are in the world when you give birth. And America has that too, because my wife and I are both American citizens, even if she's forced to give birth in the Sudan or France or Kuala Lumpur. our daughter is an American citizen because we are American citizens too. However, the 14th Amendment has been exploited so that the children of illegal immigrants become citizens, and we essentially have a huge, and I mean huge, incentive to come to the United States to give birth to children who will have the single greatest gift you can give to a child at birth, and that is American citizenship. Everyone in the world knows it, which is why so many people try to get here. I think the only way that birthright citizenship can be repealed is if that portion of the 14th Amendment is overturned, and the only way to do that is with a constitutional amendment. So Governor Evers is going to give his State of the State speech tonight. One big issue that I am supportive of him on, and this is a big one, with the one caveat that I never believe that government can do something more efficiently than the private sector. He is pledging $300 million for mental health support and education in schools. I am a big believer in early intervention with EBD. That's EBD, not CBD, you junkies. Emotional and behavioral disorders, and being able to treat those very quickly so that they don't progress and don't lead to more serious mental illness down the line. I'm a huge advocate for mental health. However, $300 million going directly into the public school system strikes me as something that will be misused as a whole lot of the COVID relief that never actually went to COVID relief was. We are looking for a contestant to play America's favorite game show, Guess What's Racist? Let's see. It is Donald Trump was inaugurated as the 47th president a couple of days ago. We will take number 47. Caller 47, 414-799-1130. Yeah, that's right. You got to screen 47 calls. What are you frowning about in there? We'll be right back.
The next generation is here. You're listening to The Dan O'Donnell Show. Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
At 20 minutes westbound on 94 out to Moreland. Delays breaking after Hawley. 16 on southbound 4145. You're slow from Appleton down to Burleigh with a crash off to the left at Silver Spring. If you see any issues, call the Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Total traffic tip line at 414-944-5111. I'm Kevin Henry.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store and everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
The Mark Belling podcast debuts on May 1st. No holds barred, freewheeling, and going after topics the mainstream media won't touch. Conservative? Yes. Intelligent? You betcha. Freewheeling? I don't know any other way. 35 years on the radio transitions to my first year in the brave new world of podcasting. The Mark Belling Podcast on the iHeart app or wherever you get your podcast. May 1st. Talk to you then.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal. To do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
You got to get to Built Right today. Dan O'Donnell here for my longtime friends at Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses. Give your home a refresh in the new year. Built Right's New Year's sale and $1 million clearance sell-off are extended. Shop where the O'Donnell family shops 4 generations, 97 years strong, and celebrating 19 years in their Greenfield location. Built Right has the most experienced team and the best selection of affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses in Wisconsin. Built Cartwright's 45,000 square foot showroom has thousands of items in stock, plus 500 mattresses and the most affordable custom order options. You will find hard to find USA made, small scale, Amish made, and real solid wood furniture. Plus, Built Right has the best selection of flippable mattresses, voted best place to shop, and open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, they're closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Dan sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton in Greenfield.
I'm Dan Voss from Cut and Go. Ugly and depressing and trees killed off by emerald ash, oak wilt, and Dutch elm disease are dangerous for friends and loved ones, even a potential liability. Slowly rotting, left-standing hardwood trees can weigh tens of thousands of pounds. Even seemingly smaller branches can weigh tens, even hundreds of pounds. With Cut and Go, there is no reason to risk injury or property damage. Live trees in precarious placement for an arborist to remove over homes, garages, commercial buildings, luxury landscapes are easily and safely laid on the ground by Cut and Go's NCCER crane-operated certified remote control automobile mounted articulating crane grapple saw operators. You can save big money and stock up on firewood by having Cut and Go put your trees on the ground for you to clean up or have a bonfire or split firewood, or we can take it all with us when we leave. A Tons of Trees movement. Cut and Go trees.com. That's CUTNGO trees.com. Once again, that's cutandgotrees.com.
When I decided to remodel my kitchen, it was important to see more than just designs and drawings. Wisconsin Kitchen Mart made it easy, with more fully built kitchen displays than anywhere else. The showroom made all the difference when making important design decisions. Along with their talented team of designers, decorators, and installers, my dream kitchen came to life.
For almost 75 years, our team at Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has created kitchen and bathroom remodels that set us apart from the rest. We understand that your kitchen must be a well-oiled machine so you enjoy using it. And don't forget, bathrooms too. That's why we offer quality design that incorporates the existing space in your home to enhance the style. Come see our full displays in our 18,000 square foot showroom, and with our wide selection of flooring, Play-Doh custom cabinetry, appliances, and countertops, you can get everything you need in one place. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. Visit wisconsinkitchenmart.com for more information and a free consultation.
Catering to all who appreciate quality installation, a great value, and the finest windows and doors. Your clear choice for more, Lisbon Storm Screen and Door. Find us at lisbonstorm.com.
Your clear choice for more, Lisbon Storm Screen and Door.
The new iHeart app.
Yeah, I've been playing around with it.
Love my radio, love my presets.
Thank you.
This is really easy to use.
Join the millions already on the new and improved iHeartRadio app and set your first preset. Plus, discover the new live radio dial, scan, lyrics, podcasts, playlists, and your favorite artist's radio.
Open the app and everything's right there. I love it.
The new and improved iHeartRadio app. It's everything you love about your car radio in the palm of your hand.
Go get it.
iHeartRadio.
Welcome back to the Dan O'Donnell Show. We're having a little bit of a technical issue here. Yeah, we can't apparently log on to the system that I need to be able to play sound bites in here. I'm not exactly sure what happened. We will have it going momentarily. You're not going to be able to fix it, Paul. Don't worry about it. It's all right. Just get back in there. Well, I've got other stuff to do. Don't worry about it. It wouldn't be a Dan O'Donnell show without something breaking. Let's try again. All right, here we go. It just takes a second for the overly complicated computer system to get... No, it's not going to work. I'll tell you what. We are going to push... Guess What's Racist to the next segment. Hopefully we'll be able to figure this out. But Paul, we just aren't going to be able to do it. We do have something else I'm going to need your help. we've got that Mike Johnson cut. House Speaker Mike Johnson saying today in response to a reporter's question that he is going to have Congress look into former President Joe Biden's pardons on the last couple of days in office. Can you play the soundbite? There we go.
Potentially having a type of congressional action on the pardons that President Biden issued over the last couple of days?
It was shocking. I mean, it was shocking what President Biden did on the way out, pardoning his family for more than a decade of whatever activity, any nonviolent offenses. It was breathtaking to us. I don't think that's anything like that's ever been anticipated. And by the way, go look at the tape. 4 years ago, when it was just implied that President Trump might do something similar, they were apoplectic. Joe Biden himself, Adam Schiff, Chuck Schumer, roll the tape. They all said that would be crazy and unconscionable, and now they're cheering it along. To us, it is disgusting. To us, it probably proves the point, the suspicion that, they call it the Biden crime family. If they weren't the crime family, why do they need pardons, right? Look, there's a lot of attention that's going to be paid to this, and I think that is appropriate, and we will be looking at it as well.
Good. As well they should. All right, we have got everything squared away. So it is time right now to play America's favorite game show.
Guess What's Racist?
That's right. It's the time where we ask you, our loyal listener contestants, to try to figure out what decidedly benign thing, definitely non-racist thing, is suddenly and unforgivably bigoted. Our contestant today comes to us from Waukesha. Lisa, welcome to Guess What's Racist.
Thank you for having me.
Well, the pleasure is all mine, Lisa. Are you aware of how to play our game?
Yes.
All right. For those who aren't, I'm going to give Lisa a list of 3 things. None of those things you're going to say, hey, wow, that's really racist. But one of them is going to make headlines in the last couple of days. In fact, all of these come from the last 2 days. The media, a study, a politician, someone has declared one of those random things to be racist. It's Lisa's job to figure out which one. All right, Lisa, are you ready to play?
Yes.
All right, guess what's racist? Social justice, racial justice, or environmental justice?
Ooh, boy. I'd have to go with that second one.
Racial justice.
Yeah.
Racial justice is racist? No, unfortunately, it's not. But environmental justice, believe it or not, is, according to an op-ed in Environmental Health News entitled, Why Funding for the Environmental Justice Movement Must Be Anti-Racist. We must prioritize minority-serving institutions, BIPOC-led organizations, and researchers to lead environmental justice efforts, writes Laura Diaz, who bemoans what she calls racist funding structures. In 2023, she writes, Dorcetta Taylor led a study that found less than 10% of general support funding is awarded to organizations serving communities of color, whereas 80% of general support funds were awarded to white-led nonprofits. So who would have guessed the environmental justice movement, according to this woman, is racist? All right, question number 2. Guess what's racist? I'm going to make this one easy for you, Lisa. No 3, just 2. Guess what's racist? The binge or the purge?
What was that first one again?
The binge or the purge?
The first one?
No, I'm sorry. It is, in fact, the purge. Specifically, a New York Times guest essay entitled, A Racist Purge Almost Destroyed My Family. Another one is coming. Of course, this one is about Trump. It's about a guy whose grandfather was rounded up and interned as a Japanese American during World War II by a Democrat president, FDR. This guy writes, America is now poised to allow a new version of the same profound injustice that nearly destroyed my family to happen again. Donald Trump has vowed that upon returning to the presidency on Monday, he will move immediately to begin rounding up as many as 20 million immigrants, including U.S. citizens born here and granted birthright citizenship, and deport them. All right, final question for you, Lisa. Guess what's racist? Sydney Sweeney, Blake Lively, or Elizabeth Olsen?
Blake Lively.
That is correct. You answered that very quickly. Did you know this one?
Yeah.
You did? Okay. I did not. Blake Lively is once again apparently facing backlash over blackface. See how this works? A resurfaced clip in which she admits to doing blackface. She's in the midst of a legal battle with her It Ends With Us co-star and director Justin Baldoni over allegations of sexual harassment on set. She revealed that she painted her face with bronzer and wore a Scary Spice fro in an interview that has recently gained traction on social media. The MTV interview shows her speaking with some of her co-stars from the 2006 comedy Accepted, including Justin Long, Jonah Hill, and Louis Black. The movie follows a group of high schoolers who create a fake university. At one point in the interview, she describes herself as a geek, which makes Long laugh. When hot girls say they're geeks, it really ticks me off because I truly am a geek, he said, and I have to live with that. She says, excuse me, my friend and I, when we were in the 10th grade, had crazy crushes and we drive around and stalk these guys. We decided one night to go to the arcade where they were, and I put bronzer all over myself and a Scary Spice fro, so I thought they would think I was like a black girl so I could go stalk them. Long responded that her behavior was sweet and endearing and not geekish. However, now, nearly 20 years later, it is the height of racism. Now, she was never photographed in blackface. She just talked about pretending to be a black girl so she could, when she was like 15, go to an arcade to stalk a boy. But that's enough, apparently, to label you racist. Very well done, Lisa. You went 1 for 3. Now, there is no physical prize on Guess What's Racist, at least this week, because frankly, we're out of physical prizes. But I do have something much more important, and that is a better understanding of how you, Lisa from Waukesha, fit into this complicated puzzle we call America's systemic racism. Congratulations, Lisa. You have earned this new enlightenment.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You sound very excited to have won that, much more excited than people usually are. They're like, well, what the heck? I wanted tickets to the Milwaukee Boat Show. Lisa, thank you so much for playing. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to America's favorite game show, Guess What's Racist?
Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Around the Lynch Buick GMC of West Bend Total Traffic Center, 94 eastbound, stop and go from 84th over to 35th. Your westbound trip starts at the Marquette, clears after Mitchell Boulevard. It's 20 in either direction. If you see any issues, call the Total Traffic Zip line, 414-944-5111. I'm Kevin Henry.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Blindster is a family-run business that began in 2010, and we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters and received over 100,000 five-star reviews. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Warshawski trial attorney Frank Crivello here.
Folks, I'm Victor Harding. Frank is selected Best Lawyers 2024 Complex Litigation Lawyer of the Year.
More impressive is Victor Harding named Product Liability Attorney of the Year again for 2024.
It may sound boastful to mention these prestigious awards.
It's not boastful considering if you or someone you love is injured, you need to know 2 attorneys from the same personal injury firm being chosen by other lawyers and judges for these caliber of awards is very rare.
Heaven forbid you ever need an injury claim made on your behalf. If you do, the quality of your attorney and law firm will have a greater impact on the outcome than even the facts of your case.
Former clients, other lawyers, judges, law enforcement officers, and even insurance adjusters,
often our adversaries,
refer their family and friends to Warshawski because they know Warshawski will achieve maximum compensation.
Injured? It is about the money.
Borshevsky.com.
That's Borshevsky.com.
Dan O'Donnell here for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you in Waukesha, Milwaukee, Muskego, Brookfield, Heartland, Cedarburg, and their Waukesha Fleet and Specialty location. If you have a business with a multi-vehicle fleet, Mander is the place to go because their team understands you can't have a vehicle out of service for a while, so they work quickly and efficiently to get you back on the road and serving your customers as fast as possible through expedited fleet repairs. Mander has been serving their customers and their community for well over 20 years, and they know that the key is expert workmanship and fast turnaround times combined with the sort of customer service that you'll only find at a family-owned local business like Mander. Start your repair today at mandercollision.com and find out for yourself why Mander truly is your best decision after a collision.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Elizabeth and John bought their starter home 8 years ago, BC, as in before children. Now, with 2 elementary school-age kids, they wanted to make a move to the suburbs for a bigger home with more yard. But they didn't know if or how they could buy their next home without selling their current one. Fortunately, a friend who was a multi-time AccuNet client connected them with us, and we soon determined they could, in fact, afford to buy without selling first, which was a big relief to them and their real estate agent. Armed with an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval, it still took several weeks to find the right home for the next chapter in their life. But I'm happy to report that Elizabeth, John, and their boys opened their presents on Christmas morning in their new home after closing just a few days before. Whether you're buying your first home or your next home, go with the pros who have all the tools and know-how to make your home buying experience as smooth and successful as humanly possible. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hi, it's Jason from Capital Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and I've never told you why Capital does same-day repair 7 days a week. Years ago, in the dead of winter, the heat failed in an apartment building I was responsible for, so I called a big local heating company who promised to help, but never showed up. After a million calls, I mustered the know-how and fixed it myself. That's when I decided Milwaukee deserves a company that cares, and that's why we offer same-day repair 7 days a week. Visit callcapitalcares.com because Capital cares.
I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute. Genetic genealogy has been used in recent years to solve crimes that have gone cold for decades. And now the father of John Benet Ramsey hopes it'll solve his daughter's high-profile murder. John Ramsey telling Fox News Digital he plans to meet with the Boulder police chief next month with a genealogy research rep at his side
to explain what they can and can't do.
This as he pushes local authorities to allow an outside lab to test evidence from his daughter's 1996 case because the late 90s sampling police have
isn't compatible with the genealogy research that can be done now.
Ramsey wants police to retest certain evidence for traces of DNA, including external male DNA that federal officials disclosed in 1997. He says there are more than 20 items in the case that have never been tested. 6-year-old John Benet was found strangled and bludgeoned to death in the basement of her family's home on December 26, 1996. There's more on the story at foxnews.com or subscribe to the Fox True Crime Podcast. I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute.
Just a couple of minutes before we've got to call it a day, our favorite Episcopal pastor revealed the real reason she spoke truth to power yesterday during the national prayer service for President Trump and Vice President Pence. It had absolutely nothing to do with speaking truth to power. It had everything to do with raising her status as an anti-Trump figure on the first days of the second Trump administration. How do I know this? Because today she did a media tour and stopped by The View.
So let me ask you this. You seem to have more fearlessness than anyone in Congress right now, ma'am. What?
Okay, come on. Come on. This is Archbishop, or whatever they call her, Pastor Buddy. I don't even remember her first name now because, frankly, I thought her 15 minutes were up on Monday, or Tuesday, but I guess not. She basically said, please don't deport illegal immigrants because we need them for slave labor. And somehow this is courageous to Joy Behar.
What made you decide to use that opportunity for this message, or didn't you have any apprehension about it?
Thank you, first of all, for allowing me to be with you today. My responsibility that morning, yesterday morning, was to reflect, to pray with the nation for unity. And as I was pondering what are the foundations of unity, I wanted to emphasize respecting the honor and dignity of every human being.
Okay, so wait. She's saying she didn't want to politicize this, but it was all about respect. It was all about, yet she did that by being disrespectful. Okay. Just so we're all clear that this woman has this is, by the way, how you can always tell a bad pastor if they're not all about God and Jesus Christ and instead all about themselves. You got yourself a bad pastor. Her name, by the way, is Marianne Edgar Buddy. She is the head of the Episcopal Church of Washington, D.C., and she gave that little screed about illegal immigrants and LGBTQIA plus minus ampersand $! People during the prayer service yesterday. Yeah, Paul says Trump's response was pretty good. We had a midnight Truth Social post about it, but unfortunately, we don't have time to get into it. We are out of time for today's show. Have no fear, though. We are back tomorrow. Football picking contest. We'll have a complete wrap-up of the State of the State address, and I'm sure much more fun still to come tomorrow right here on The Dan O'Donnell Show.